Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the very first episode of Tales from the Crips. This is an online tabletop role-playing live play entirely by disabled and neurodivergent gamers. My name is Laramie Taylor. I'm non-binary, my pronouns are they, them, and I was born with arthrogryposis, a birth defect that stunts the development of the limbs in utero. In addition, I have severe OCD that leans heavily into the obsessive thoughts end of the scale. I've been playing role-playing games since I was 6 years old, when my older brother Jason taught me how to dungeon master. I was reading at the high school level by that age, and Jason spent weekends with us and weekdays with his mom, where his normal group of players was, and he saw the opportunity to get to be a player by teaching me how to run the game. My very first dungeon that I ran was Palace of the Silver Princess, and I've never stopped since. I've been running games for longer than I've done just about anything, and it's influenced just about every corner of my life. I met my late partner Sylv on a text-based online role-playing game in the 90s. I got into writing for comics, the stage, and television as an outgrowth of my role-playing history. And when I recently started a YouTube channel about disabled life, I started this game shortly after. Whenever I'm asked where I get my characters and ideas or what feeds my creativity, I say role-playing games. Now, the idea behind Tales from the Crips isn't that new. Online TTRPGs have been around for a while now. The choice to have every member of the group be disabled and or neurodivergent is a bit more unheard of, but not entirely so. Still, it's an idea rooted in the representation for those of us, and there are a lot of us in the gaming community, that you don't normally see, and based on the idea that topics of disability and neurodiversity can be centered in our games. My first attempt at this was almost 2 years ago, and unfortunately my life and the lives of most, if not all, of the players pretty much blew up at around the same time. The game never really got off the ground. I've reached out to those players, and unfortunately they are unable to resume now. 2 years is a long time, people's lives change, and we really couldn't make it work. I thank them for helping me give it a go back then, though, and leading to this, and I hope that I do them proud with this new endeavor. So Ren, Jack, Lori, Jackson, and Tori, thank you, and this is for you. So what does set Tales from the Crips apart, at least as far as I know, is that it will be a game within a game, a story within a story. What you're about to watch is the first episode of a 3-part opening story, but when it ends, our game isn't complete. There's another level above this story, a meta-story, if you will, and it will tie this first story to what we hope will be a number of other stories to come. I can't really explain too much right now without giving away the game, but let's just say that there will be a little epilogue tagged on to the end of episode 3 of this first story that will pull back the curtain on the bigger story beneath the surface. In the tradition of the source material from which our name derives, Tales from the Crypt, this will be an anthology of horror stories. Our first story, Slasher, is set in 1994 during spring break. It follows a group of college students and a hotel staff over the course of a dark and fateful week. Other stories will come from a range across the spectrum of horror, from historical to survival to science fiction to apocalyptic. And in between the stories is the story within the story, the glue that will tie them all together. We're using a game called Slasher Flick from Spectrum Games, with a few tweaks and house rules. The system uses different dice to reflect a character's ability in different stats, ranging from D6 to D10. The better a character is, the smaller the dice. This may seem strange, but it's because the goal of rolling is not to hit or exceed a target number, but to roll matching numbers. And the less sides a dice has, the easier that is to achieve. The standard number of dice to be rolled on any given situation is 4. With dice added or subtracted based on outside factors and special character qualities. There are only 4 stats in the game: brawn, finesse, brains, and spirit. Characters have qualities that affect these stats in either positive or negative ways. Positive qualities can add a single dice, negative qualities can subtract one. For most tasks, a single matching pair, such as a pair of 5s, is enough to succeed at what you're doing. Additional matches beyond that can make the success more impressive, or even make the difference between a success and a miracle. Slasher Flick is a fairly simple but unforgiving little game system, and anytime a character enters into a scene that puts them in danger, it's called the kill scene, for reasons that should be fairly apparent. At that point, a character's only goal is to survive, to escape and live another day. Fighting the monsters rarely goes well, and characters can die quite easily. To balance this, players have more than one type of character. Leading roles are what most games would consider your standard player character. They are the stars of the show, and they get the best stats. They also have a few built-in advantages that make them harder to kill, but not too much harder. Each player also has one or more supporting roles, essentially playable NPCs that have less stats and are there to basically be the red shirts of the game. Touching the button you're not supposed to touch, going to check out what that noise in the basement was, and deciding, hey, it's a great idea to split up right now. Supporting roles allow players to take more risks and unravel more of the story without fear of losing their star character. To aid them, each player has a number of genre points, which can be used for extra dice, or to redo a bad roll, or to make minor changes in the narrative, and a number of other things. These belong to the player at large, not their specific characters, though they can be used on any of them. Genre points are earned through roleplay, rewards for clever or amusing character moments, especially those that fit with the tropes of horror movies. As the director, I never use dice. Monsters don't have to roll them. They succeed at anything they want to do unless the characters are able to avoid it. The axe murderer will always hit when it swings, unless you duck out of the way first, for example. That's what makes the game so deadly. It encourages flight over fight. The tension of the kill scene is the heart of the game as players attempt to score enough survival points for their characters to escape. If the character falls into negative survival points, the character will almost certainly die. And that's really all there is to the system. It's fairly simple, has few rules to have to keep track of, no pages and pages of charts, and allows the narrative to drive the story in a cinematic way. So with that quick primer out of the way, let's begin our very first Tales from the Crips. Hello and welcome. Let's get this started by introducing our players, and we will begin with Corvin.
Hi, I'm Corvin. I use he, they pronouns. I have OCD and bipolar, so that's kind of what's going on with me. I'm excited to be here.
And
Hey,
Greg.
my name is Brandon Gregory. I also have bipolar disorder. And then on top of that, I'm an immunocompromised asthmatic. Yeah, I am also glad to be here.
And Brooke.
Hi, I'm Brooke. I use she, they pronouns, but I'm not, you can call me by whatever pronoun. I wouldn't say, well, yeah, I have major depressive episodes, anxiety, and I don't know if it counts PTSD, like clinical level post-traumatic stress disorder, which has
Yeah.
turned into like this enormous thing in my life, and various other issues that are related to those things.
All right, and so we are going to be starting our introductory story slasher. And we will begin our story on the island of Beaver Lake. Beaver Lake is home to the Eager Beaver Lodge, which is a vacation and spring break in particular mainstay in the Pacific Northwest. The year is 1994. It is spring break, and students from all over the Pacific Northwest and the West in general, even from other places, are going to be coming out to party and have fun over the next few weeks. It's more of a family getaway in the summer and fall, but in spring, it's the college kids that run rampant all over the island. The island is out on the lake, about a quarter mile. There is a bridge, a single one road each way bridge, one lane each way bridge that runs that quarter mile. It is the only way on and off of the island. Power and phone is brought out along with the bridge. There are boats on the island that can be used to go back and forth, but because the only major thing on the island is the lodge, there isn't a lot of traffic or ferries or anything like that happens. It's mostly supply trucks, tourist vehicles, and employee vehicles. The lodge is staffed 3/4 of the year. It goes dark during the winter, but during the spring, summer, and fall, it has staff on site 24 hours. They live on site in shifts, seasonal shifts. So you either do the spring, leave in the summer, come back in the fall, or you do the summer and fall, or you do, well, one of those two. So they do 2 out of 3 shifts, basically, 2 out of 3 seasons. So you have 2 seasons on and 2 seasons off. The current staff is getting ready for spring break. We're going to begin on the island with the staff. The lead character for this group of the Eager Beaver staff is Vivian. Vivian, I'm missing your last name. Vivian Turner. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Vivian.
I'm 24 years old. I'm the night manager of this hotel, and I am I wouldn't call myself antisocial per se, but I don't exactly love people. I kind of keep to myself, except when I'm selling weed to my coworkers. I like to read. I'm an artist, so I do sculpture and painting, but I don't show anybody my stuff. After burning out really badly in art school, I sort of have a whole thing about that. I got this job about 3 years ago after my parents kicked me out. That might be TMI. I hear a lot of weird stories about this place, but as a night manager, I have never really seen anything. I mean, I've seen a lot of human things that are interesting, but I've never seen anything supernatural or anything like that. You do see a lot of interesting stuff around 2 a.m.
All of the rumors that you have heard have all been pretty much confined to the area of the lodge, the old wing, or the old place as they call it now. There was a second wing to the lodge that has been completely closed down, and that's where all of the supposed supernatural haunting type things happen. And you never hear about that much because it's been fenced off and completely isolated for going on 50 years.
Yeah, there's all these rumors about it, but it's probably just a fire hazard,
Right, exactly. So it has a 12-foot chain link fence with razor wire at the top. It is completely overgrown on the inside. The building is half eaten by vegetation and local fauna. Or flora, I mean, not fauna. Yeah, the fauna are probably eating it too. They're probably chewing away at it too. But the flora has kind of overrun it. It is partly collapsed from fire damage that originally shut it down, partly collapsed from rain damage. It's never really been repaired. And it is in a state of condemnation. You really shouldn't be in there. It's not that safe. And it's not somewhere anybody ever really has to go, so it just kind of gets ignored. This is the big day when everybody's arriving. It is Friday, the beginning of spring break. Everybody's driving in because most people's classes are Monday through Thursday. Very few Friday classes, so you're expecting the students to come in a rush. There are several sororities and fraternities that have booked out pretty much the entire place. Everybody is currently on call, even if they're not daytime staff. They are expected to be around and available in case they're needed. You are paid overtime for this, but you still have your shift tonight that starts at 10 p.m. and goes until 7 a.m. So you get a 1 hour lunch in there.
At least I get overtime and
Exactly.
extra pay.
Right, you get some extra pay. So you have been called down to the first floor into the lobby at the front desk. David, the general manager, short man who wears kind of tweedy suits, Looks more like a used car salesman maybe than a hotel manager, but he's short, kind of small and a bit fidgety and twitchy, kind of big eyes, little mustache. Very, very neurotic, very anxious. Doesn't like change, doesn't react well to surprises, kind of uptight. People just tend to avoid him as much as possible because unless he really needs to deal with anything, he doesn't. He mostly balances the books and keeps everything on a macro level working. He has managers that handle the different departments that do things and take care of things for him. And then especially as the night manager, you really don't see him that much, except when he comes in the morning to take over and just you give him your report about what happened during the evening, and then you take off and go do your thing. Today, you're around during the day, going to be around, and he's called everybody down. Everybody is there. You've got Drew, the operations manager, middle-aged, early middle-aged Vietnam vet, kind of bushy salt and pepper hair. You've got Jane, the director of hospitality, middle-aged, kind of heavy-set woman, very friendly and very much your tour guide type. You have the kitchen manager, Stuart, or Droog, as they call him. They call him the Droog. He is a short, heavy-set, kind of funky-looking dude with a messy beard and kind of bug eyes of his own, and doesn't really keep a very clean appearance for somebody that's supposed to be a kitchen manager. But the kitchen's always passed inspection, so it's not him. He's not the one actually cooking in the kitchen. He just oversees everything. And then you've got, of course, two of the most recognizable janitorial staff are two young guys, about your age, maybe a little younger, out of high school, early college, Lewis and Owen, and they are the disaster duo. They not only fix everything around here, they break half the shit that gets fixed. They take the golf cart out and race it through the hiking trails and do all kinds of things they shouldn't be doing, but they also are really good at fixing things quickly and are more help than they are harm, so they haven't been fired yet. Drew has kind of adopted them. He's the operations manager, so they're under him, and he's kind of their surrogate father in a way and is closest to them. He doesn't talk to a lot of people. He's kind of a quiet, solemn person. It's known that he's a Vietnam vet. It's suspected that he's seen some shit and is not entirely outgoing or friendly. He keeps a little personal garden, keeps to himself, reads books, things like that. But he does take an interest in Lewis and Owen. They're kind of his adopted urchins, and he cleans up after them or makes sure they clean up after themselves. So everybody's down in a whole bunch of other people. You got housekeeping, you've got the rest of the kitchen people down in the lobby while David's giving the pep talk for the big week coming up. This week here alone this week and the next 2 weeks, because spring break generally kind of rolls over 3 weeks depending on where you go to school, but it's usually around Easter. These next 3 weeks, but this one is the big one in particular, will pretty much make the entire season's profit. This is the big money. This is where you get tons of people. The hotel has been entirely booked out. And so David is more wound up and anxious than usual and is reminding everybody that we can't screw this up. This is where all the profit comes from. This is where we make our money. They don't come back if we don't do good, so everybody be on top of things. I'm expecting everybody to be ready to pull double shifts if they have to, work overtime. Yes, you'll be paid. Don't give me that look. And he checks to make sure that different things on the checklist that needed to be done before this weekend starts has been done. All of the boats are prepped in the boathouse. Boathouse is ready to go. Kitchen's fully stocked. All the deliveries were made. Things are good. The weather's supposed to be pretty good this week, and so far it looks nice and sunny this morning. You're usually asleep by now because I imagine you crash when you get done and then get up before work, and then this is like ass o'clock for you. It's like 9 a.m. Normally, your shift ends at 7. You'd be asleep by now.
It's so bright.
Yeah, it's so bright. And you're inside still, yeah. Okay,
Oh,
so
everybody's so chattery.
David is finishing up, letting people know, all right, so you all know what to do. This isn't your first spring break. Well, for some of you it is, but for the rest of you, it's not. So make sure the people that don't know what they're doing know what they're doing, because if they don't, I'm going to blame you. You all have your assignments. You're all expected to chip in. Be ready to be called at any time. Lewis and Owen, no partying with the clients. They are guests. They are not your buddies. You are not partying with them. If I catch you partying with them, it'll be your asses. They kind of look at each other. Oh, us? No idea what you're talking about. We'd never do that. Drew gives them a meaningful look, and they kind of quiet down. David says, all right, I'm going to be in the office if anybody needs me. Everybody else get to work or be around in case you're needed. If you are housekeeping, make sure that all the rooms are cleared before we get any guests. If you're kitchen staff, make sure the kitchen's ready for lunch. We're opening the cafe at 11. Guests should be getting here around 10:30. And if you are desk staff or other staff, then hang around the lobby or the cafe. If you're not scheduled at this time, you can do what you like, but you need to be in the area and ready to be called. And this being 1994, you can still smoke inside some places. So the kitchen has, the cafe has a smoking section, so you don't have to go outside just to have your cigarettes. People disperse in groups, muttering to each other, heading in different directions. Lewis and Owen wait until David's gone specifically. And Drew is largely no longer paying attention. He's starting to head off to check a few things before they come over to you, Vivian, and they're like, hey, so maybe we could go take a walk and talk about that thing. You know, the thing?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, the
absolutely.
thing.
You want the thing we've been discussing for a while.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Just give
Yeah,
me a
that
few
thing,
minutes,
that
I'll,
thing. Yeah, let's go out there and talk about that thing.
yeah,
And
a
so-
little bit of a walk.
Yeah, the hiking trail. Yeah, Trail 1. Okay, we'll go on Trail 1. It's the easy one. So they go out with you onto the trail. Drew kind of gives them a look as you guys head down the trail, but doesn't say anything, doesn't call them back, doesn't yell at them. They wait until you're well out of earshot and pretty much out of visual range even before they're like, so you're holding, right?
Of course I'm holding. How much you
So-
got?
We've got about 30 each.
All right.
I mean, we'll have more once, this place fills up, but,
I reach into
next
my
week is
pocket and pull out a
payday,
little.
and
Oh, sorry.
all right, next week is payday, and we're a little tight at the moment. We'll have some more before then.
I pull out a little Ziploc bag.
Okay, they take that, look it over, look at each other, discuss it, nod agreeably, hand you the cash. You count 60, largely in rumpled ones. Owen's like, "What? I had a good night on the pole, okay?" So they basically make that deal with you while they're walking and save it for later. But they're like, so you have more back in the room, right? Because I'm probably going to be sending people to you.
Yes, I have more back in the room.
Okay, you want us to send people to you.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, these guys are going to be
tell
looking.
them-
If they didn't bring a bunch with them, which I'm sure some of them will, they're going to be looking. And, hospitality.
Hospitality, I've got plenty. Don't worry. Just
Okay.
don't tell them where my room is, okay? I don't need a
No,
bunch
no,
of
no,
people
no,
banging
no,
on my
no,
door
no.
all morning.
We never tell them where
Thank
your
you.
room is. Or
Thank you.
you have anything else, or just this right now? Just green for now?
Yeah, just
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you sometimes get shrooms or acid or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean, okay. I've been known to have shrooms from time to time, but it's few and far between, and that's a little bit more difficult to get than weed this year.
There's a reason we wanted to go down this trail. Come over this way with us. And they step off the trail and start going out into the woods a bit.
How much do I trust these guys?
They're not going to do anything to you if that's your concern. They're not those kinds of guys.
Okay, yeah.
They're well-meaning. They're just total deadbeats. They're slackers.
Okay.
They're stoners, but they're not assholes.
All right.
No,
See what
come on.
Better
So
be something good. Do you need rolling papers or something? Because I've got some here.
Oh, thank you. Tuck that in the pocket. They head over a little bit, and they come to a little clearing, and you see that they have been saving their seeds for the last few months. And there is a small but thriving little crop.
Well, that's wonderful. Is it ready to pick and smoke or eat?
Not even.
Or
It's barely like a foot and a half, 2 feet tall. I mean, it's got to be like 5, 6 feet usually when you harvest. I think. I don't know. I've never done this before.
Don't let anybody see this, but great work, you guys. Really
I
good
mean,
job.
Read a few things. Went to the library, checked out books. Read a few things, and here we are. So it seems to be going okay so far. I'm not really sure if we're doing it right, but I mean they're growing, so we got to be doing something right.
Well, they call it a weed for a reason, right? I mean,
Right.
there's not, you can't really go wrong, but cool. Well,
we're not trying to put you out of business or anything with this. Yeah, this is.
I don't think you could if you tried.
No, this is mostly just going to be. This is maybe enough for us for part of the time we're here, and of course we'll share with you. I mean, obviously. So yeah, but anyway, we thought you'd like to see this. This is pretty cool.
Well, you were right. I do like to see this, and I'm smiling for the first time in several hours. Nice job.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's probably gonna be months before there's anything even to show for it, but it's here.
I thought it was gonna be like a dead body or something, so I'm pretty glad to see this.
We wouldn't bring you out here for that. Yeah. Are you kidding? We'd be bringing Droog and Bug out here for that.
Fair.
This is more your speed.
In another month or two, I'd like to come out here and test this.
Yeah. Awesome, cool. And there's this whole thing you have to do about, once it's ready to harvest, you have to hang it upside down so resin and stuff goes down through it all. And I don't know all the details yet. I'm still reading.
I'll show you. I'll show you what I've learned. It's pretty easy, actually. Don't believe what all the stoners tell you. They make everything complicated because they have fun with it. So I'll just show you. Just put them in bunches, hang them upside down until they're dried, and then you can do whatever you want with them.
Owen's the one's been doing most of the talking about reading books and stuff, and Lewis says, I'm just surprised he can read, so.
I'm impressed with both of you. Good work. You've got a marijuana dealer in all of you yet.
So we can head back now. If we're gone too long, David's going to come looking for us, and if David comes looking for us, Drew's going to be looking for us, so we better get back. All right, so they head back with you, head back up the trail. And as we head back up the trail, we will now move over to a small, well, not small, but a shabby, mid-sized car that is somewhere on the Oregon Highway, on the interstate heading to the island as it pulls up to a convenience store. It is a 4-door and is currently carrying 5 people. There is the director of the student film group that is going to the lodge, not for spring break, but to shoot their student film. And that is Jason Street. He is the director of the film. It is going to be a very schlocky, very bad B-movie horror flick. And he is going to turn it into cinema gold because, he's a visionary. His girlfriend, and naturally the star of the movie, is actually a really good actress. Her name is Dawn. She's a young black woman and is very pretty, very charming, very friendly, kind of shy, kind of naive, and a very good actress. She has not been spoiled by stardom or her gifts and talents haven't gotten to her head. Unlike the star of the film, who is thankfully not with you guys in this vehicle. He's in another vehicle behind you. Also with you is your basically all-around lighting and sound technician. They do both. And I say they because Paige is one of the early non-binaries in the 1990s. Paige is assigned female at birth, presents very androgynous. Paige tends to be more boyish, more masculine, but doesn't really feel that they are either. So they don't go by he or she. They prefer just they. Paige is, like I said, the lighting and the sound tech, is lugging all that gear around themselves all the time, which is impressive for a small framed person. Paige is Steve's best friend, Steve being your lead character. Corvin, tell us about Steve.
Hi, I'm Steve. I keep everything on the rails here with this film production. No, I mean, they could probably do it without me if they wanted to and, looked at my extensive lists.
It would
Anyone
be Lord
can
of
do
the Flies
anything.
in 10 minutes.
Well, if they follow the list, anyone can do anything if they follow the extensive lists I
Right.
have created.
With all the steps and
but-
sub-steps and, index notes
Exactly.
and, footnotes and,
Yeah, Steve is kind of a scrawny guy around like 20, 21. He's got kind of like short brown hair. He kind of hasn't really figured out how to style it yet. And he's always kind of just checking in mirrors saying, oh, yeah, I think that's okay. Maybe if I move the part over here. No, okay, that's worse. Never mind. He's very anxious and very competent, and the only reason this film is happening at all.
like I said, Lord of the Flies in 10 minutes. So the last person that's in the vehicle with you guys is the makeup slash costume slash FX person, Max. And anybody that calls her Maxine does not live to tell about it. Max is your 90s hardcore goth. Not your mall goth, not your Hot Topic goth, but the I'm actually a card-carrying member of the Church of Satan goth, wears a pentagram, knows what the Baphomet and the Leviathan cross and all of that are, is very into goth music, reads at least 5 different languages, speaks 2. She is Afro-Latin. She speaks Spanish and English. And she kind of looks like a mixed race version of Death from Sandman. She's got big, explosive, frizzy hair, has the heavy eyeliner with the little curly Q under one eye. Very pretty, very bold and no fear, and is kind of the tyrant of the group that people stay out of the way of because they don't want to piss her off. She not only does all the makeup and costumes, but does, as I said, the effects, and most of them are homemade. She is a huge Savini fan, a big Argento fan, and is also a fan of somebody that most of you guys have never heard of that she goes on at length about, some guy named Guillermo, who is a filmmaker in Mexico that she insists is going to be like huge one day and is just waiting for something of his to break through. She has brought with her...
What's his name? Guillermo?
Guillermo,
Sorry, Guillermo? This is so... Am I supposed to have heard of this person? This is so
No,
strange.
Guillermo del Toro. Yeah, exactly. But yeah.
I'm sorry, Del what?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Max has brought with her her infamous severed head. This is a very realistic head prop that has an actual human neck bone in it. Don't ask where they got it. And she has used this many times at many occasions, and it never ceases to cause all kinds of chaos and hilarity. Most infamously, she used it at a huge multi-sorority and frat party where she snuck it in and put it in one of the ice chests when no one was looking, with a lot of ketchup around the neck, and left it there, and was found probably about 15 minutes later when you heard the blood-curdling scream of a 22-year-old man that sounded like an 8-year-old little girl, and ran crying and screaming from the building and had to be chased down for half a block. Quick side note, this severed head prop is actually a real thing from my life that a friend of mine had, and we did that at a party, and it scared the shit out of somebody, and it was amazing. We put it in the freezer.
Was it with a real neck bone?
It had a real neck bone in it. A friend of ours' father was a movie producer,
Wild.
and she had it from a set. and we put it
That's wild.
in.
That still doesn't explain how they got a neck bone.
I don't know. But they put it in the freezer, like I said, ketchup under the head neck, sat it upright, and somebody saw it, screamed like a little girl, and ran out of the building. We had to chase them halfway across the apartment complex to keep the police from coming, so that was fun.
I would just faint. I would faint and die immediately.
Max has also, back in the times well before mass shootings were a daily occurrence everywhere in America, and it would have actually have been funny at the time, has played with squibs in public and done like mafia-style hits in broad daylight, thrown bodies into like car trunks and driven off, pulled all kinds of pranks like that. Max is a complete and utter agent of chaos and has probably been on local authorities' speed dial for years. So you guys are all crammed into this four doors, what I was getting at, 4-door sedan. It's in good enough shape to make the trip, probably get home okay too, you think? It's Jason's car, and it so far has held up. You're at your last convenience store stop before the island, so this is your last chance to grab anything that you want to bring that you want to pay for on the island, where things are probably going to be marked up. You expect there will be like cigarette vending machines and things like that. There may even be like a little general store or something at the lodge, but everything there is going to be a lot more expensive than you can get it if you're not on the island because you're not captive. So this is your last chance to get any alcohol, any cigarettes, any snacks, things like that you're going to want. So everybody piles out of the car. Do you stay in the car? Or do you go into, or?
Is Max going in?
Everybody's getting out at least to stretch. You're not sure if Max is going in yet or not. Paige and Max and you are kind of crammed in the back seat, with Paige kind of in the middle of the Oreo, and then you've got Jason and Dawn in front. Jason and Dawn heads in to get things. Jason heads out to fill up the tank, and Paige gets out, stretches, is all cramped up. Max gets out, pulls out a clove, lights up.
Yeah, I think I want to be near Max, but I want to have a word with Jason. So I'm kind of like just standing in the middle of them, trying to decide what to do and paralyzed by indecision.
Okay. Max is standing a good 10 feet away from the car so as not to set it on fire by smoking while Jason fills it. And Jason is over just at the back side of the car, filling it up. So probably closer to Jason.
Okay. Jason,
yeah, what's up?
So in the script, it says that, how peanuts are like a big kind of motif in the script, and you mentioned wanting to get peanuts. I'm not really sure whether we will be able to get peanuts, so I thought maybe I could run in here and get some peanut M&Ms. Would that's kind of or maybe alternate variety of nut. Like, I can see what they have.
Go see what they have. I mean, we didn't get this before that.
No, there was a problem at the
Troy
store.
Didn't get
because,
it. Fucking Troy.
I told Troy what we needed. And,
Troy has 3 jobs: get the things we need him to get, carry the shit around, and go while wearing a costume. That's it. How fucking hard is his life?
Well, he may be bad at the first 2 jobs, but he is really good at making those noises. So,
You have no idea. You didn't have to have a room next to him last month. When we went to that film convention, oh my God. How somebody that thick gets so many girls, I don't understand.
Yeah, I wouldn't know anything about that. Girls.
I mean, he's okay, he's good looking, but if you like, the completely ripped Islander type thing, but I mean, who likes that, right?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
I'll check and see if they have any nuts.
Okay, yeah, go check it out. Fucking Troy.
So I guess I go inside and
head into the store. Okay. Wendy's in there. She's grabbing some stuff. You see that she has a little bag that she brought not her purse, but like a little satchel that she brought to put a bunch of stuff in. You see that she has completely wiped out the entire inventory of clove cigarettes there, probably at Max's request, because there would be hell to pay if Max runs out of cigarettes during this. And then she's currently just kind of going up and down aisles looking for stuff for herself.
Yeah, can I make a roll to find nuts?
Sure. Yeah, go for it. Give me a brains roll. What is your brains? Do you have any specialties that would work here?
Let me see. My
Go for
brains
that.
is good, so
You know what?
it's 46.
I'll let you try common sense, and if you fail, I'll let you use creative solutions.
Nice. So does that mean I roll an extra die?
Yeah, you get an extra die for the first roll.
Okay. I love that the first roll of this thing is just to find nuts.
Yep,
Okay, that's
we're
5,
starting with the things that
6.
matter.
Oh shit, I got 2 6s. I got 3 6s. Holy fuck. I'm really finding these nuts.
Wow. Okay. You happen to go into the convenience store that is like crazy with their variety that they carry. They've got all kinds of peanuts. They've got regular peanuts. They've got salted peanuts. They've got them in a jar. They've got them in bags. They've got them in shells. They've got even Japanese peanuts, which is becoming a thing in America at this point. They've got, you know, hot peanuts. You know, whatever kind you want, they've got them. So you can have your pick of any kind that you want. They also have other kinds of nuts, but since, as you pointed out, the script calls for peanuts, there you go.
This is actually Steve's worst nightmare because it's a choice that feels creative, and he's like, I am not qualified to know what kind of nuts are important to the script. Um, so I think, can I just look around and see if any of my friends are nearby?
Wendy's further down the aisle. She's looking at the potato chips and corn chips and things like that.
Wendy. Hey, Wendy.
Yeah, yeah. She comes over. What's up?
So we need peanuts, but I'm looking at like the salted peanuts, and I'm thinking, well, maybe salt is like a symbol for like salt of the earth, and maybe that gives us like kind of a groundedness to our story. But maybe we want unsalted because maybe our story is less grounded and it's more about kind of like esoteric themes. Am I overthinking this? I feel like I'm overthinking this.
Do you remember if the script calls for us to ever actually eat them?
I pull out like a crazy binder that I just carry with me at all points, and I'm just like flipping through it, and I'm like, on no.
No? Then I would just go with whatever you think looks most like easy to notice and recognize for what they are if it's going to be on camera, you know?
Right.
Whatever like
Right.
is maybe the ones in the shells, because then you have to like pop them out of the shell and eat them, and you know it's easier to see that, hey, you know, those are peanuts.
Wendy, you have saved my life today.
She
And
gives
I
you a
get
big
the
hug.
shelled peanuts. Oh, thank you. I really want this movie to go well, and I feel like everything's riding on this, and I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. If we were eating them, I would have my preferences. But if we're not eating them on you know actually on camera, then I don't care. I think just go with whatever looks nicest.
You're so right. You're a genius, actually. And
No,
I,
no,
yeah,
no,
this,
no. That's Jason. He's the genius.
you're right. Jason is a genius. I truly believe that with all my heart. Anyway, peanuts. And I go and buy the peanuts.
Okay. So you're done with that while Wendy's still shopping. Head back out.
Hmm.
Okay. Jason is now heading in to go pay for the gas. Paige is doing stretching and looking like she's warming up for the Olympics. Because Paige has been crammed between the two of you the entire trip, and so they're all like, so Paige is like stretching and twisting and doing all kinds of things that Paige is very limber,
I go
and
up to
Max
Paige and I'm
is
like,
smoking. That's what
I
Max
go up to
usually does.
Paige and I'm like, the peanut crisis has been averted. The movie is saved.
There was a peanut crisis.
Yes, I didn't rant to you Well, I guess maybe sometimes I rant internally, and I'm not sure whether I'm actually saying it out loud or
I mean,
whether
you've ranted about peanuts before, but I didn't really think anything of it because I mean, it's peanuts.
it. Okay, I'm gonna let this go because I know how important you are to the film, and this film would be nothing without you. But the peanuts are a crazy important motif. So
I'm
just
sorry, was I
just so
supposed
you
to have
know.
been? I'm sorry. Shit. Paige looks actually genuinely upset that they weren't like listening to you when you were venting about the peanuts. They thought the peanuts thing was just kind of trivial. And they are, a good friend, and they don't normally just like
Yeah.
tune you out, but you've really kind of been stressed lately, and Paige has kind of hit their limit on how much they can intake, so a lot of it's just been going straight through. The last couple of
No,
days, Paige comes over and gives you a slow hug, and is like, "I am so sorry."
no, I'm sorry. I know I'm a lot. Like I know. I know. And it's a thank you for being there for me. I
They still have their
y-
arm. They're shorter than you. They're up on their like tiptoes, arms around your neck, head on your shoulder, and so they whisper, "Max is right over there."
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to
Does
go
does
inside
my
and look for something so you can be alone?
yeah, wait, real quick. Does my hair look cool?
Your hair always looks cool.
Oh, thank you. I give them like a quick squeeze and a hug, and
And
I'm like,
then
yeah, okay,
before they go, they look up, reach up, mess up your hair, and walk away.
thanks. Okay. Yeah,
And they
I
head
go
inside.
walk over. I walk over to Max, trying to be like chill, but not really sure what to do with my arms. So I'm just like,
Max is very intensely smoking a cigarette the way that only Max can.
smoking, cool.
Did you see Wendy?
Yeah, she was inside.
Did she get cloves? She better fucking
Yes,
got
she
cloves.
got.
She did? Thank God.
Yeah, she got all the
I told
clothes.
Troy to get some, but telling Troy to get something is like telling the wall to get something.
No, I know there was this whole peanut situation. It's not important, but yeah,
Peanut situation,
Troy.
what?
D- Um, it's you. Yeah, there was this. I mean, I handled it because I guess I kind of like handle things around here sometimes. Not that I'm
Tell me
like
about
saying
it.
I'm cool. Yeah. Anyway,
I
what's
swear.
what's new with you, uh,
I don't
Max?
know. We've been in the back of the same car for the last 6 hours. You tell me.
Steve laughs way too hard at that.
Max doesn't seem to notice that it's a little too much. Max seems to have something else on her mind and is, smoke, smoke, smoke. Swear to God, fucking Troy.
Yeah, Troy, he's only good at making animal sounds. That's all
If
he's good for.
you have no idea, you didn't go to the film convention, did you?
No, I was making my
Oh my
lists.
God, we were on the other side of him. Okay, so Jason and Mike were in one room, and then me and Paige were in the other room. And in between us was Troy and old dude. What's his name? Jim?
Um, uh,
Yeah, Jim.
yeah.
Anyway, they were in the middle. And I'm going to assume it was Troy because if it's not Troy, then Jim's a fucking freak. But that room just sounded and smelled like fuck for the entire weekend. I swear to God. It was just fucking. It just
Whoa.
wafted and radiated just a miasma of fuck. It was.
Yeah, and we all know what that smells like because we all have had sex.
And the noises. Oh my God, the noises. So when you mention, animal noises, yeah, he's good at making those. Oh my God.
Wait, is that
Fucking
that's
weirdo.
like a really good impression of him. That's crazy.
You ever done a goat around you?
Ever got a goat?
Has he ever done a goat noise around you? I mean, I
Yeah.
was hearing goats in the room. It may have been an actual goat for all I know. But I think I
Yeah,
would have
I
heard it
mean,
in, don't they scream bloody murder like humans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, once he kind of like stubbed his toe in front of me, and then he made that exact bleeding sound, and
Really?
it was yeah.
That's kind of weird. All right.
I know. Yeah.
No, if I left it up to him, he'd. I bet you. Okay, I'll bet you right now, $10. He shows up with nothing but fucking camels and menthols.
I think Troy would. Yeah, I'll take that bet. Sure.
You think he's gonna have more? You think he's actually gonna
I
get shit that we put on the list?
I am an optimist, and yeah,
Wow.
I say he gets one thing, just one thing
At
that we
least
put on
one
the
thing, huh?
list.
All right, all right. $10
Yeah.
says he doesn't. $10 says it's just camels and menthols. If it's anything else, even if it wasn't on the list, if he gets anything but those two kinds of cigarettes, I'll still pay you.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah,
deal.
I'll take that. Yeah, shake on it.
She shakes. Many rings on her hand, some of them pointy and spiky.
Ow, ow. That kind of hurt.
Sorry about that. I
No,
swear.
it's
You,
I you go.
it's good that you're an optimist, and that's probably going to be what saves us all. But I have no faith that we're actually going to pull this off.
Oh, well, I've been working really hard to
Yes, you
make it.
have. Have you met us?
I, listen, Jason's a genius, and I truly
Yeah.
believe that.
Jason's not bad, but anyway, I'm sorry. I'm dumping on you. How have you been?
No,
How
no,
has your sardine can ride been?
again laughing like way too hard. Um, it's been good. Yeah, I just I've been going over the script again and again. I have memorized pretty much every part at this point.
That might be useful if somebody
And
gets like sick or just drunk and hungover or something. You can fill in.
oh no,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, that can happen. You'll be
No.
fine.
Have have you seen the time that there was like a short film? It was like a while ago. It was like a year or two ago. There was a short film where I filled in for one of the extras. Did you see that? I tripped and I took a bunch of cables down with me, and half the lights fell on my head, and it,
I'm sorry.
I'm just not meant to be in front of the screen. No, no. It was honestly funny, because
I mean, it
it
probably
was,
was.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and then people circled the tape around, and then, people were laughing at the tape, and it was kind of like a fun joke that I had with the rest of the student body, where everyone kind of laughed at me, and I was also laughing, and you know.
About this time, people are coming back out. Everybody's bought their things or paid for the gas. They're heading back over to the car. All right, we're almost there, Jason says. Hit the road. I assuming that Troy and the others are behind us somewhere. They better be. They've got half the cast and the cameraman with them, so and all the gear, so they better be behind us. I lost sight of them a few miles before the off ramp, but they should be back there. Anyway, everybody ready? Anybody need a bathroom break, or are we good? It's only about another 45 minutes to the island.
Can I lean in towards Paige really quick and be
Yeah,
like, hey, could we like maybe like switch seats on the way
sure.
there? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
please do. God, a
Yeah,
window, an armrest. You get to be the sardine. That's fine with me.
yeah,
All right,
cool,
in the middle you
cool.
go.
I just kind of like I'm really not touching Max at all, but I'm just like so close
But
to
you're also
her.
thinking, I'm almost touching Max. Okay.
Exactly.
All right, everybody piles back in, starts the car up, and back on the road you go for the next 45 minutes. You're headed to the island, and we're going to leave your group there while we go to the third group. And this first pass through, I'm wanting to focus on each of the lead characters of the story, and just a couple of NPCs that I'll play. And then as we go forward here, you guys are going to start to see the supporting characters that everybody's playing around these leading characters. And supporting characters, as I mentioned earlier in the intro to this whole thing, supporting characters are your cannon fodder, your red shirts, the people that can do all the stupid things and take all the risks so that the star characters don't die, because death is very easy in this game. So we now move to a chartered bus instead of a hodgepodge convoy of broke-ass college kids, but a chartered bus that is rented out by several fraternities and sororities, led by the sorority Zeta Eta Pi, which I just love the name because it's amazing. And half the football team, most of the cheerleaders, like I said, a couple fraternities and sororities, they're all crammed in on this charter bus. And it may as well be a party bus because the party's already started. It's spring break. On this bus, among the football players, is a specific football player who is the starting left tackle for the team. And that is Lucas.
Lucas Moore.
Tell us about yourself.
Lucas Moore. So I grew up for a long time. I wanted to be a journalist, but the thing is, I am good but not great. So I knew I had to get an athletic scholarship was really my only chance because there was no way my parents were going to be able to pay for that. My dad is an alcoholic. My mother, unfortunately, is just over-medicated for her psychiatric condition, so she was just never really there, and so that left me to take care of my sister. So it's a lot for me to get away from my sister, particularly because like I've spent most of my breaks going back to take care of her. But like I'm thinking, this will be the first break I do something for me. I am a left tackle, so I spend my time looking after our quarterback. Additionally, I have one of my friends from the journalism group here, and I am doing my best to take care of him too.
And that quarterback is Chris Valentine. Most people just call him Valentine, and he is the star quarterback of the team, but he is not really the leader off the field. The leader off the field is the senior star linebacker, which is Rick Woods. He is a tall, very lean, carved out of hard wood, as opposed to beefy. He's just sculpted lean, not big and bulky, and he is very fast, very strong, has a very grim expression, and is just probably one of the most dangerous people on a football field you've ever seen. You would not want to play against him. You're glad you don't have to block him or keep him off of your quarterback, because the times you do in practice where they're not even allowed to tackle the quarterback, he has destroyed you on a couple of occasions and left you in the ice tank after practice for several hours to recover. But with you, sitting next to you at this very moment, is one of your journalism buddies. As you mentioned, your best buddy and closest friend, whose name is Lane. Lane is the editorial cartoonist for the school paper. And you are trying to get Lane to broaden his horizons. He hates sports, he hates jocks, he hates cheerleaders, and you got him on a bus full of all of that. He has no idea how you did it or why you did it. He's pretty sure you're engaging in a social experiment for one of your classes, and that this is all just, a study, but he's grudgingly come along because he is kind of fascinated by what this world is like because he's never been in it. He's quiet, shy, very, very low self-esteem, dark hair, kind of big dark eyes, very sullen, quiet, good looking if he wanted to be, but he's just too shy and too kind of mousy to really stand out. He draws constantly. He draws cartoons of everything and everyone around him. He has been basically spending the entire trip wedged back in the corner next to you, drawing the entire time. Anytime you get up, he buries his sketch pad in his bag so that nobody can see it since you're not there to block him. But when you're there, you see that he's basically doing cartoons that largely involve big, stupid jock football players having horrible things happen to them, like anvils and pianos dropped on them. And when you look over this time, you see a sketch of him, and then you recognize it's him, making out with one of the cheerleaders, Tamara Steele, who is a really, really attractive young black woman with shortly kept braids, cornrows that are bleached blonde, and she's darker skinned, so the contrast is really sharp. And she has really kind of pale grayish green eyes. She's possibly mixed race, and a little bit of freckling across the nose and cheeks, and he is just already head over heels in love with her. You happen to know she's single, but she also is not exactly looking for anybody, and you're not even sure that he would be her type. But he's decided that she is definitely his type. And he is sweeping her off her feet as they kiss romantically in the drawing that he is currently making.
Very sweet. Lane, I'm getting some real mixed messages here. It seems like you want to be here, but you don't want to be here. And it's like, I get this is out of your comfort zone. And honestly, like, I'm not sure I like being here either because I'm away from my home, but I just, I want to make sure you're doing okay here.
I'm fine. Scribble, scribble, scribble. Scribble, scribble.
Okay, so this thing you just drew, is that
kind of
one of the
tips it more
cheerleaders
towards
here?
him so you can't see it as well?
Uh-huh. I already saw Lane. That's not helping.
Fine. What?
So which cheerleader is this?
It's
That's you, right?
You can't tell which one that is?
Is it Tab?
Gestures over towards her vaguely.
Okay.
But under like the seat back so no one else can see it, just you can kind of see where he's pointing. Yeah, I mean,
have
come
you
on.
introduced yourself? Does she know
I
who
haven't
you are?
left this seat since we left the station.
Well, that is generally step one.
Like it's ever going to happen. Goes back to scribbling furiously.
Okay, well, if anybody gives you trouble, just let me know.
Yeah, fine. Just remember, you brought me.
Fair enough.
Anything that happens to me, that's on you. And I hope you feel guilty at my funeral. Scribble, scribble, scribble.
Look, it's my job to take care of people on the field, and I take care of people off the field. I will take care of you.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm just not used to being around this much testosterone. Smells like
these are my
balls on
friends
this
too,
bus.
right, Lane?
What?
Like, these are my friends too, right, Lane? Like, I mean, you're my
Yeah,
friend.
I know.
These are my friends.
I know. I'm not being fair. I'm being a judgmental prick. You know me. That's who I am.
All right, just I want you to have a good time too.
I'll try.
Can you at least try?
I will
Okay.
try. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So is she seeing anybody?
I don't think so.
Really? That can't be possible.
I'll do some research.
Yeah, go do some recon. Come back and let me know.
Okay. I'll
His
do
dad
that.
was a war journalist, so, he talks in those kinds of terms about doing recon and things like that. Do you get up?
Yeah, I'm gonna
He
go. I'm gonna go talk
Kind
to
of
the.
wedges himself more into the corner. You guys have the very back corner, bench on one side, and he's wedged into the corner now, facing out of it so that nobody can see what he's drawing. If they walk up to him, he has plenty of time to see them coming and tuck it away.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go hang out with cheerleaders and say like, "What's up here?"
Hey, guys and girls all mixed together, having fun, talking. There's already a few drinks. Bus driver was paid off not to care.
Okay.
He's not drinking, so. Hey, get you a beer, Valentine says.
No, I don't touch this stuff. I'm sorry.
That's right. I keep forgetting. Sorry about that. Just you're at these things. You're used to just giving people beers.
I get it. I mean, nothing against you. It's just I
Pats you on the
can't.
back. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Allie and Tam and Alice are all over here at the moment. Alice is kind of vaguely further away from the group. She's closer to one of the other cheerleaders who makes Lane look like an outgoing person, and is talking to her a bit, but isn't like so far removed that she can't hear what's going on. But Allie and Tam are right there, and then of course you've got Chris and Ty and Rick. They're all right there. So
All right. I'm gonna like go up to Chris and give him a handshake, but then move on to the cheerleaders,
Okay.
Tam and Allie, I think.
Allie is dating Rick and is near him.
Hmm.
And she sees you coming
So,
up. Hey,
hey,
almost
so
there.
yeah, have you guys been here before?
Yeah, we came here not last year, but freshman year. She's a junior.
Freshman. Okay.
Yeah, we came here freshman year. And we decided it
Okay.
was fun, but it was all booked out last year. We didn't realize how fast this place books out. So we booked it early this year.
Yeah. Did you go with anyone last time you came?
I'm sorry? Did we what?
Did you I'm sorry. Did you want to bring anyone? I'm sorry. You're here by yourself, right, Tam?
Oh, Tam?
Yeah.
Tam looks over at me. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm here with the rest of the girls, but yeah, I'm not with anybody.
Oh, I'm, you know.
Kind of tilts her head a little bit.
Oh no, no, I'm sorry.
She tries not to look offended.
I'm just friendly conversation. Um, but yeah. So, Allie, how is your boyfriend doing?
We're doing fine. I mean,
Okay.
looking forward to the weekend. You?
You
So-
know, I'm just looking out. Yeah. I'm having fun already. So anyway, I'm gonna go back to the back of the bus.
You go back over to Lane.
Yeah.
Okay, Lane's drawing over there.
I just
And,
silently give him a thumb up.
Kind of tilts his head. And kind of nods and then shakes his head.
Like, yeah, she's single.
Turns a page, starts drawing something else. He's also very
You know
quick.
what? I'm going to grab him by the arm and try to forcibly pull him up to the front of the bus.
He rips his arm away. I'm not even going to make you roll for it because you're way stronger than he is. He tries to rip his arm away, but doesn't. What
So
are
yeah,
you doing?
I'm gonna drag him kicking and screaming
Let
to
me
the front
put
of the
this
bus.
away first so nobody sees any of this
Okay,
shit.
okay.
Right.
But I'm not letting go of your arm.
Can you let go of it for a minute to let me put this away?
No, Lane. This is for your own good.
I have to have one hand for the notebook and one hand for the backpack.
Okay, okay. I release his hand.
Rips his arm away, pretending like, it was totally his choice now. Leans down. I hate you. Stuffs everything in the backpack, zips it up, pushes it back under the seat, puts another bag in front of it so nobody can see that it's back there. Paranoid dude. All
Yep.
right, fine. What are we doing?
We are going to the front of the bus, and I'm gonna at least tell them your name, because that is step one.
Why?
Can we do step one?
So far, I've been lucky. They haven't even noticed I'm here.
That's not lucky. That's the opposite of what we want right now.
Is it? Is
Yes,
it really?
it is. Yes.
Because I'm starting to think that what you want and what I want are very different things.
That's very possible, but we're doing this right now.
Fine. He lets you drag him up there, but he does make you drag
Okay.
him. He goes a little more willingly as you approach, so it doesn't look like you're dragging him.
Okay.
But for the first few steps, he's making you drag him.
Okay. Let's do that. We get to the front of the bus. I'm like, hey guys, this is my friend Lane. We're in the journalism club together. Just wanted you guys to know who
School
my
pa-
friend is.
Valentine smiles. School paper, right? Yeah. Want a beer? Okay, I guess. Gives him a beer, pops it. Lane kind of takes the beer and looks at it in a mixture of like awe and confusion. He just got handed a beer by the starting quarterback of the team, and he's just kind of like, what is even happening right now?
So Lane's a very talented cartoonist. He's probably got more talent than I will ever have in my life, to be honest.
Tam tilts her head and she's like, you do the editorial cartoons, don't you? He blinks, half chokes on his beer, looks up. Yeah. Why? Oh, that one that you did about the Board of Regents a couple weeks ago. That's pretty good. I almost got fired for that. What happened to freedom of the press? It's a college. We don't have freedom of the press. So he sips his beer but goes quiet again. But it does occur to you that Tam at least does kind of recognize his work at least.
Mm-hmm.
And so people are talking. He's not. He's mostly just listening and kind of sipping his beer. But he's there. He's not running away screaming.
Okay, that's good.
So small victories. Ty says, hey, can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah.
Ty is about medium height, good solid build, wide receiver, actually. Doesn't look like the kind of guy that would play wide receiver, but he's fairly fast. He's really strong. It's what's becoming popular in football right now are stronger, more athletic wide receivers instead of little speedsters, the kind that can go up and fight for jump balls. And he's that kind of guy. He's got a really good vertical jump, more muscular. He's got a nice fade with a slight afro on top. It's a bit longer than normal length, like a fade crew cut kind of a thing. It's a bit taller. So he says, yeah, come with me for a minute. And so he wanders away with you, gets a good distance away, looks over. He's also, Alice, right?
Alice, like the cheerleader?
Yeah,
Like
Alice, right over there. Yeah, Alice.
Yeah, like Ashley's best friend?
Yeah, Alice.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking of maybe making a move this weekend, or this week, but somebody told me that she's into somebody. And I don't know who that is.
She was into?
I mean,
that's a
if I
pretty
got lucky, it would be me,
statement.
but nobody knows. I can't figure. Nobody will tell me who it is. Just
So
that she likes
are
somebody.
you asking me to ask her? Is that what?
I'm asking if it comes up in conversation, you pass it along, or if you see anything.
It's fair enough.
Help me out, man.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, don't go right up and just ask her, but if you hear anything, yeah.
I'll let you know.
I mean, you talk to them more than most of us, probably because you're not trying to get in all their pants all the time, but
Not all of them.
not all of them. Is there one that you like?
I haven't really settled on one yet. No. I mean, no, I guess not.
No. Okay. But anyway, you hang out and talk to them as people more than us. We're just trying to go out with them and stuff. So
Yeah,
I thought maybe you would know, but all right. Hey, cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
of course.
Drifts back
All
over to
right.
the crowd.
How are Lane and Tam doing?
Tam is conversing with everybody. Lane is still mostly just being quiet and sipping his beer. If you were keeping an eye on him while you were talking, you would have noticed that Tam spoke to him a couple times and he gave short answers, but very indirect and not really looking at her, and then just went back to sipping his beer. So he's answering the questions she's asking, but he's not exactly being outgoing. But she has asked him a few questions or talked to him a couple times. You've noticed.
That's good.
So she's
That's
at least trying to
positive.
involve him. If nothing else, she's being nice and trying to involve him.
Okay.
So you head
So I'm
back
gonna
over.
go up. Yeah, I'm gonna go over to Lane. I'm gonna lean in and say, "How are you holding up?"
Get me out of here.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go. We forgot a sketchbook back there. We're gonna go make sure it isn't falling on the ground or something like that. So, yeah.
Tam says, I'd love to see your sketchbook sometime. He chokes
Yeah.
again, spits beer. No, that's not a good idea. Rubs the back of his neck.
It's maybe you could do a sketch for Tam later, Lane.
Valentine's eyes light up. He goes, hey, what if he did, those cartoons, caricatures? He
Caricatures.
could do caricatures of all of us. Fuck,
He
I'd
could.
pay. I'd pay you for it. Lane blinks and kind of looks at them like, really? You'd pay? Yeah, I think we all would.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'll come see you over the weekend and you can draw us and, depending on how funny it is, we'll pay you. That sounds risky. Lane's not sure about it, but okay, we'll talk about it. Yeah, I'll think about it. And then he scurries back to the back.
Okay. I'm going to stay up front and get a feel, just make sure nobody is saying anything bad about
No,
him.
they don't. They don't immediately start
Okay,
bagging on him
okay.
the second he's gone. So it seems to be going pretty well there.
Okay. Sounds
Okay.
good.
All right. So at this point, we are going to skip ahead a little bit. As in short order, several ragtag vehicles in a little convoy and a charter bus all pull up to the bridge. The bus is made to wait by, there's a sign at the bridge that basically says the weight limits, and the driver's like, well, until they pass, I can't go. And so the bus waits, cars go across. Once the cars are mostly across, the bus starts. And eventually the vehicles get there, everybody starts piling out. Vivian is back in the lodge. Where are you at right now? Are you in the cafe, in the lobby? You're muted.
Sorry, I forgot I muted myself.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'm still stuck in the lobby. Would love to get out of here, but I can't. I've got too much to do.
There have been a few vans and group vehicles and stuff that have come, and some of the sorority and fraternity people that are coming on their own have showed up. People are already checking in. It hasn't gotten busy enough yet to need you, but they are starting to show up. It is starting to get busier.
I would give anything for a cup of coffee.
They have those in the cafe.
I guess I'll head over to the cafe then. If I have time. Just if I have time.
Okay. So as you head into the cafe, we will introduce the first of our supporting characters. Bug, you are currently setting some stuff out front. Because the waitresses are refusing to do any setting until the doors open. They do that sometimes.
Okay.
They know how busy it's going to get, and they're like, we are not setting and bussing and serving all fucking day. So they're making
Fair
you and the
enough.
kitchen staff actually do the initial setup. So you and Droog and a couple of the other kitchen people are out setting all the tables, putting all the silverware and plates and everything out when Vivian comes in.
Vivian, you're looking pretty chipper for how tired you also look.
Do you want to give us a really quick description of Bug and summary of him for Vivian
Yeah.
and the viewers?
Bug is the chef. He is the cook of the camp. He is known for working miracles with the limited ingredients they have, although rumor has it he may be adding some additional ingredients that are not really, it's not really known where he's getting them. He is constantly covered in food stains. He's like a mid-40s guy, kind of overweight. And so he loves listening to people's stories. But at the same time, he's kind of slow in everything he does. He's slow to do things, slow to respond. Definitely doesn't move fast.
And so you had asked Vivian how she was doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vivian, you doing okay?
I can't. I'm fine. My face just looks chipper. I really would do a lot of illegal things for a cup of coffee right now, though.
Well, hopefully you won't have to do anything illegal because we have coffee right here. And you're welcome to have some. I think it's going to be an extra special batch today.
Oh, thank you so much. Now I feel chipper.
Yeah.
All right, Bug. Bug's kind of my favorite because he's one of my best weed customers.
Yes.
And then a certain groundskeeper is also in the area right now.
That's my
Pulling up your
groundskeeper.
character. What is the groundskeeper character name again?
Groundskeeper Michael. He's an old man, super gruff, hates teens, very get off my lawn kind of vibe.
And you're going to have a whole bunch of teens on your lawn.
Exactly. And yeah, he's just already dreading the approaching spring breakers.
He's probably over there already shotgunning coffee while
It slammed the cup down on the counter.
it looks like okay, there wait. Brooke froze up for a second. Are you back? Frozen again?
Oh, yeah, I'm here. Yeah,
Okay,
are you
you're here.
Is everybody okay?
Yeah, there we go. Okay. So he's already over there shotgunning coffee when you and Bug come over to get you a cup. It's old man Withers from the Wax
Hey.
Museum. Yeah.
Michael, how's it going?
You know, can't complain.
Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna get some coffee now, if that's
Droog comes walking out of the kitchen. He is the kitchen manager, and he comes wandering over rather lazily and is
Drew, you okay?
saving that for later.
You all right?
All right, so
Oh God, Drew.
what? You're not eating anything yet. The food's still in there.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about eating something, and you know what? It's fine. You do whatever.
Hey,
How you
if you
doing,
can eat
Michael?
his food, then anything I do shouldn't be a problem.
Coffee's great. Thanks.
And you
Thanks,
guys
buddy.
see a few vehicles and a big charter bus pull up outside through the big bay windows of the dining hall.
Good
Oh my
Lord.
God. So I have a real affinity for Michael. Vivian does because, Vivian really likes grumpy old people.
She is one
So
privately.
yes, she's definitely going to age into being a grumpy old person someday, but for now it's all on the inside. So she sits next to Michael and she's just like, "Oh God, Jesus Christ. They're going to be young. They're going to be filled with energy. Oh,
Yes, and they're probably gonna tear up the grass with their fancy footwear.
oh, they're going to run around everywhere, getting into everything.
And
Oh my
they're
God, they're going to pee on the bed.
the guests that are getting off the charter bus are coming out, many of them with beer cans already in their hands.
Oh, these
Oh,
Which, if your
disrespectful.
previous
it's past my
experiences
bedtime.
any indication, are going to be all over the front lawn anytime now.
Well, I better get out there and get these youngins straight. Nice to see you, Vivian.
Nice to see you too. I guess I'll see you out there. Good luck with the youngs.
Bug.
Yeah. Well, pleasure as always.
Just walk out.
Vivian's like, but I'm so tired. It's past my bedtime. Here, give me another cup of coffee.
And we
Just
cut
gonna power
to
it down.
a four-door sedan as five people pile out of it. The ride between Max and Paige was pleasantly uncomfortable, as in you couldn't get comfortable, but it was nice because that's the longest time you spent that close to Max. And she didn't seem to mind at all.
All right.
This is a big day for Steve. This is like top 10.
She spent most of the ride over talking about some of the new stuff that she's been working on, mostly like new blood pack stuff that she's done, that she's wired up to some of the squibs so that you can use blood in other ways besides just like when you shoot somebody. She set them off to not explode, but to seep so that like blood can just come out of the walls and run down the walls as a special effect. So they're not
That's-
explosive. Yeah, things like that.
Me, Corbin, thinks that's so cool. Steve is like mildly terrified.
So you guys get out, you're stretching again. Paige is like, "Oh, that was so much better."
Yeah, that was a good
Paige says,
car
"If I
ride."
ever actually planned to have any, I would have your babies. Thank you for letting me sit in the window."
Well, I would yeah, that's
Relax. I'm into girls, you know that. Don't worry about it. I'm not hitting on you.
oh, thank God. I don't know what to do when someone hits on me.
Yeah, Paige is into women, so
I figured you probably weren't hitting on me, but there was like a 5% chance that you might have been, and that kind of just set my brain into,
if
you
I
know.
ever hit on you, check to make sure I'm not drunk or stoned. Or possessed by something that Max summoned.
Yeah, for sure. Good call. I mean, if anyone hits on me, my first check is like, are they drunk, stoned, or possessed? So, you know.
At about that time, you hear Jason yelling, "God damn it, Troy! Camels and menthols only? What the fuck? I told you to get Marlboro, man. What the fuck? I made a list and everything." Troy's this big, beefy, hunky Pacific Islander dude with long hair, and just looks like he has his own like sensual nights soundtrack that follows him everywhere. He's like, "Yeah, sorry, my bad."
Troy, you didn't bring anything else? Like
Well, I
just
got
one?
like, snacks and things, but for cigarettes, I just grabbed what I smoke and what, Jim smokes. I forgot the
I,
list. Don't tell Max, she'll kill me.
oh, I'm well, I'm definitely gonna tell Max. Sorry, Troy.
Max
Uh,
walks up at about that point and says, "You'll live. I made sure Wendy wiped out the store that we stopped at because I knew your fucking stupid ass wouldn't get any."
but Troy did bring snacks, so that is like one other thing.
Paige says, "And Troy will get some, but just not that." All
So,
right. Max says, "I'm going to go get checked in. I have the worst headache right now from the drive."
let me know if I can do anything to help. I could carry your bags. Do you have bags? I could carry
I have a
some.
ton of bags. You want to carry them? You're fucking welcome to. I've got all the costumes. I've got all the makeup. I've got my FX. Just be
Yeah,
careful with the head.
oh, I'd have to touch the
No,
head.
it's in a
Yeah, I
bag.
could.
But you just have to
Oh,
just be
okay.
careful with that bag. I mean, the other bags, I don't give a shit if you drop those.
I will guard the head with my life.
Please do. And she heads
Yeah,
inside.
I just grabbed the bag. I'm so weak. I try my best to carry too many.
She goes stalking off towards the lodge in her Doc Martens. Stomp, stomp, stomp.
I turned to Paige. I'm like, did that go okay? Did you hear
I
that? Did that?
don't know. I've never known Max to like date anybody. I
Oh,
don't. I mean, I think she's hooked up with a few people, but I don't know. I don't. Max doesn't talk about personal shit much.
hmm.
I had a
Yeah,
thing for Max at one point, and it didn't go anywhere because I don't even think Max knew.
right. Well,
If you're interested in Max, like really interested, you're gonna have to say something because she's not gonna notice.
you wanted me to say something out loud?
I'm not dating Max in part because I never did. So I mean, do you want to join my club? Go right ahead and don't say anything.
Okay, can we like practice real quick? Like,
Now? Here?
well, no, you're right. We're fully in the maybe
We'll
later.
talk about we'll
Later,
talk
could
about it.
we?
I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
And she starts helping Troy unload shit, most of which
Do I
just gets piled
see
in Troy's magnificently burly arms.
do I see the like abandoned area of the place? Like, did I see it when we were driving in?
Give me a brains roll.
Okay. Can I add anything to it?
What do you got? Do.
Common sense, maybe? I guess that wouldn't really help with seeing stuff. Oh,
Well, I tell you
I'm
what, I would because you're looking for something. I would normally penalize for unperceptive, but you have I'll
Oh,
balance it out and let you be at just your standard roll.
okay, cool. Um, okay. That's a four, a five, a four, and a six. So I got a matching pair.
Yeah, you see off in the distance. It's the middle of the day. It's almost 11, and you can see a building that looks old and partially collapsed and very unattended and in disrepair that is fenced off. 12-foot high fence, razor wire at the top, keep out signs on it, condemned signs on it. That's the building. It's
Okay.
down a trail a ways. It's not like right next to the main building. It's probably about 100 yards separate, and there's a decent amount of trees in between, but you can see where it is. It's down there.
Okay. I feel like I probably have all like the check-in information, so I'm gonna go help check in, but I like make a note of that. Like I want to check it out later.
Okay. And as we cut to a charter bus that people are piling off of, several people just tossing their cans in the grass as they get off and heading over to check out or check in. I mean, Lane is with you, waiting until everybody else is off to get out, slowly packing his things up. So Lane's there with you, Lucas. Most of the people have filed off.
Okay, so Lane, that seemed to go well. Like, I think that was not only step 1, I think that was step 2 as well.
Went well? What are you talking about? I was a fucking social idiot.
Well, I don't know that they thought that.
You're just trying to get in my head. I know what this is.
Have I ever tried to get in your head? Do you think I'm even
Not that
capable
I
of
can
trying to get in
prove.
your head?
Not that I can prove.
Okay. But Lane,
Fine.
okay, Lane, I want you to have a good time this trip.
Okay.
Okay, so
I'm
let's-
trying. Hey, I might make some
Okay.
money, it sounds like. That would be cool.
You can make some money, and I think, like, look, you don't have to be a jock. You just have to be nice.
They want caricatures. Usually those make fun of people. I don't want to get beat up.
Could you make nice caricatures?
Are they really caricatures if they're nice?
I don't know. You're the artist. Can you? Is it called something else when you make a nice drawing of something?
I don't know. I'll work it out. My self-preservation instinct is very high.
I mean, also, this is also, let's call this a step 3, is being nice to the people you talk to.
All right, that'll be my goal for the day.
Okay. Well, if I can get 3 steps out of you, then we're doing good. So,
All right.
3 steps, give them your name, you talk to them, you be nice. If you do that in 1 day,
I can manage
that's
that.
more than you've done probably the last semester.
I can manage that fine.
Okay. Lane, just remember, you don't play sports. I get that. But I meant it when I said you were talented. And I'm saying that as somebody that has really struggled to be talented.
If one of them don't like my drawing and kill me, I am haunting your ass for the rest of your life.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Let's hope. 'Cause I think I'd be a pretty good ghost to haunt you.
Well, I'm sure that won't happen.
Fine. Picks up his bags, puts his art bag in his bigger bag, gets off the bus with you, goes to head inside. And as everybody heads into the lodge, we will take this moment to take our break. Everybody spends the next couple hours, getting food in the cafe. It's lunchtime, getting their rooms set, everything dropped off in their room, figuring out which room is theirs, checking in, all of that. So everybody's involved with all of that for a little bit. And then once that's done, people have eaten, people have started to kind of relax from the trip. Some people go upstairs and take a nap because it was a long drive. Others go out onto the lawn or kind of hanging out. It's a nice warm spring afternoon. Vivian, you still hanging out in the cafe?
I guess. I mean, isn't there a need for me to be anywhere else?
You're probably during some of that, they would have pulled you in to work the desk and help get people checked in faster.
Yeah, I saw this absolutely gorgeous goth girl come in. Absolute babe. Oh my God. I wish there were more people like that on this island because maybe it would be a little more interesting. But yeah, she just came in with this attitude, smelling like cloves, stomping around in her cool shoes.
Deanie about had a heart attack when she walked in.
What was that?
Deanie, the manager, David Deanie, he about had a heart attack when she showed up.
I mean, everybody seemed to.
He made you
stop
check
for
her
a
in.
second.
He was afraid if he was too close to her, he might get cursed. So he made you deal with her.
This is actually exactly my jam. These are the people I hung around with in art school. These are the people who I just love to be around. I love goth music. I'm not exactly a goth myself. I'm just sort of an appreciator of it. And so,
Goth
I've
adjacent. Yeah.
Goth
goth
adjacent.
adjacent, yes, a goth admirer.
Okay.
So when Max came in, I was just like, oh my goodness, I would like to do a sculpture of her.
Awesome. So where would Steve and Lucas be at this point?
I think I'm trying to I'm trying to find someone to talk to about the abandoned section.
Okay, so
of
you
the
could be down in the
lodge.
lobby for this. Lucas?
Lucas, let's he probably just needs a moment to himself.
Okay.
Because
There's a lot of
he could be very social, but at the same time that is kind of draining to him. So he's kind of retreated just outside.
Okay. The
main
lodge
building.
lobby
Yeah.
is a big great room that, it has the lobby with the front desk, but then it has a large open great hall kind of a thing with a huge fireplace. And it's got tables and chairs set up all over, little nooks that you can hang out in and be separated from other people if you want. It's also got some seating outside. So if he's just kind of getting a little bit of space or air, he could be around there or out on the front patio.
Let's do I'll say he's even just outside the front patio. He's just
Okay.
kind of standing there.
So you would see first, Lucas, a sheriff's department patrol car come off the bridge and roll up and park up close to the lodge where administration and employees and stuff park. And out of it steps a Asian American man with a handlebar mustache. He's got the wide brim hat. He's got kind of a dark green khaki kind of a uniform. He's with the local sheriff's department. He's a deputy. Gives you a nod as he approaches and is heading inside. And you've been swamped there, Vivian, for a while. And so when he comes up to the front desk, your first instinct is probably that this is another person checking in until you look up and see that it's actually Deputy Fang.
Oh, hi. I guess you're not here for a room, deputy?
No, not today. Question for you. We had a few of the local, and by local what he means is there is a town that's about 45 minutes away. That's where that convenience store was in the opening. That is like the closest town to the lodge. And actually a number of the workers live there, and they live here on the island full time when they're working, but that's their hometown. So he says a few local high school age boys came home last weekend with some marijuana that they claimed that they got here.
Here? Well,
Now, I
wouldn't
highly
know
doubt that anybody on staff would be selling to the guests, but did you see anyone or that might have been suspicious or someone that might fit what we're looking for? I mean, giving minors illegal narcotics is not exactly acceptable.
Deputy, do you happen to have a description of the person who was the terrible person who might have been selling drugs to
They
our young
won't
people?
say who they got it from. They just said that they got it while they were here and that they can't remember who it was.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I have read that marijuana does a number on your memory, short term and long term. So I'll be sure to keep an eye out. Yes, I have. I read a lot, Deputy Officer.
Thank you. I would appreciate that. Is David in?
I'm sure he is. I'll go find him.
I'll just go check myself. That's okay?
Of course, Deputy.
He steps around behind the counter and goes down the hall towards David Deeney's office and disappears down that way.
I feel all my weed just burning holes in all my pockets. And
Now, both of you were close enough when that was going on to have overheard that. Which, depending on your interest is either, oh, wow, that's interesting, or hey, maybe somebody around here selling. It depends on what you're looking for. But yeah, he disappears into the back. Max and Paige come downstairs. And you notice Lane, by the way, is at one of the tables out on the patio and is drawing. You can't see from where you're at what he's drawing. But he is out there. So if there's anything either of you two want to do.
Could I go up to the desk?
Sure.
And I guess I'll go up to Vivian and just be like, hi. I couldn't help but notice while we were walking in that, well, driving in actually, I couldn't help but notice that there's kind of like an abandoned section of this lodge, and I was just wondering whether that's like being like if anyone could anyone like have access to that section or?
No, absolutely not. It is a fire hazard. It's fenced off for a reason. And also, I don't know if I believe this personally, but I have heard that all kinds of things happen there. So, you know, the rumor has it that there's ghosts or something. Anyway, you don't want to go there. Trust me. Even if there's not ghosts, there's definitely going to be like broken glass and, you know, rusty nails and all kinds of hazards.
And like how like are people like watching it to see if anyone goes there or like how like how Steve is trying to be smooth but he's just like uh like is anyone like like watching like would anyone be able to see like if hypothetically some people got in there just like you know for my own information.
Vivian, give me a brains roll with +1 for perceptive.
Sorry, which dice is which? I don't want to minimize my window. It's 8. Hang on. Let me pull up my character sheet.
Your brains is normal, so that's 8. Yeah. So 5d8.
8? 5d8. My glasses on. You know what? I should probably just do this on. I'm going to do this on Dice Maiden or on Google Roll because I've got too much. 5d8?
Mm-hmm.
+1? Okay.
And you're looking for matching sets.
Alrighty. No matching sets. It's 43715.
Okay. Since this is a PC that is doing this, Steve, are you okay with Vivian kind of picking up on what you're really trying to do here?
Yeah, I think I'm super unsubtle.
Yeah, exactly. He's being very unsubtle. He wants in there in the worst way. You're not sure why, but he wants in there in the worst way.
Are you sweating a little bit?
Oh, am I? I sweat when I'm feeling totally comfortable in situations. That's just something I do. So
Totally
I see.
comfortable.
You look very comfortable, and you're very subtle, very smooth. What's your name?
Oh, I'm Steve. Steve Philman. Not that you asked for my last name, but Steve.
Vivian's enjoying this a lot more than she should be, but you know she's filled with spite because she's tired. But also, Steve, you're kind of you're very subtle, Steve. Thanks. Why don't you come back down when fewer people are around? We can talk a little bit more.
Oh, yeah. Cool. I can. This is we're connecting. That's cool. Yeah, I'll come back later.
Hey, question for you.
Uh-huh.
Who is that cool looking goth girl that came in? She's wearing like all black, smells like cloves, total babe.
Yeah, that's Max. She's super cool. But you know, everyone knows Max is super cool. So
just curious. I just wanted to know. Vivian's now being unsubtle too.
That's about when Steve, or that's about when Max and Paige come down the stairs from the second floor.
I walk over to them and I'm like, so I think I got an in with the person at the front desk. I think we're gonna get into the abandoned location.
Really? That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I mean, I was super smooth about it. You know me, I was like totally chill.
Paige was like,
And
totally,
but
yeah, yeah. I'm sure you were like X-Lax.
yeah, no, exactly. Exactly. But I think yeah, maybe we have an in there.
Very cool. Max seems impressed. Max is like, all right, I really want to get in there. I've heard some things about that place. So
Yeah, I heard maybe like ghosts.
I did some research before we came. I'll have to show you some stuff.
Yeah, you can show me whatever you want.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, Brooke and I got that at the same time. Yeah. Okay. Lane is drawing as always. He gets up from his table because he sees you over there, and he comes over kind of guardedly and leans over and he shows you. He's done a caricature of Valentine, the quarterback. It's really good. It looks exactly like
Okay.
him. It's not mean, but it's not like super flattering either. It's a good cartoon.
Okay.
It looks
Yeah.
pretty good. Most people would be quite happy with that. It's
Let's
like,
do it.
would I get killed for this?
Let's find out. Is
I mean,
Valentine around?
I ignored the receding hairline, and he's kind of skinny for a quarterback, but again, quarterbacks are skinny, I guess.
Look, you're
And-
not going to get in a fight over a cartoon.
Okay, all right. I'll show.
We're
this
not
to
in
him.
high school anymore.
I'll show this to him later. See what he thinks.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay. Well, do it because let's go ahead and say that's step 4.
Wait, am I trying to go out with Valentine or?
No, you have to be nice to her friends too.
Okay. For a minute there, he's kind of. I mean, never mind. Anyway, so yeah, have you heard anything more from Tam?
No,
No. Okay.
but I'll keep you
Yeah.
posted.
Yeah. Okay. All right, but I thought I would try doing one and showing you first before anybody else sees it, and so I don't get murdered.
Do you know what that police officer was doing here?
I don't know. I saw him pull up and park outside. You were closer
Yeah.
to the door than I was. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know why. I mean, there's a lot of us here, and some of us may not be of legal drinking age, and I'm sure there's probably some pot going around. So I could think of 10 different reasons he could be here.
Okay. I don't have some of the best memories about police officers showing up unexpectedly.
Kind of gives you a bit of a look. Okay. Huh. You're not, like, currently in possession of anything I should know about, are you? We are sharing a
No.
room.
We are sharing a room, but no, I'm not.
Okay. All right. Well, I won't worry about it then. Kind of gives you another strange look about the police officer thing, but, files it away for later.
Okay. Well,
All right.
I think I'm gonna go get checked in.
Okay.
So you just, if you see Valentine, just flag him down, show him that.
Okay.
I'm sure you're gonna knock him dead.
So Deanie and Deputy Fang come out of the back, and Deanie's just completely wound up over something. I was going to let you go on break and go sleep until your shift tonight, but I got to take him. He wants to go through the staff rooms.
I can't go take a break. Isn't that illegal?
I have to take the deputy through the staff quarters. He's looking for weed. Somebody here's been selling the kids the devil's lettuce, and now I get to deal with it.
Well, who would do that?
It's probably Lewis and Owen.
No,
Little
I don't think they would do
reprobates.
that. It's probably just some guest.
I wouldn't be
who-
surprised if they're
you know,
growing it on this island.
I don't think anybody's growing marijuana on this island. Of
That would
course they're
require-
not. Probably.
That would require reading.
See, Lewis and Owen don't read.
Droog. Could be Droog. Bug. I can think of half a dozen of you little delinquents that could be selling weed. Anyway, he wants to search the rooms.
Fine. How long do I have to stay here?
However long it takes him to go through everybody's rooms.
I better be getting overtime for this because this is
You're
like a
getting
triple
overtime
shift
for
or
this.
shit. Okay, fine.
I'm
Fine.
the one that's
All
having
right.
to deal with this. You just have to sit at the desk for another however long.
Fine. Typical. Typical. Cop shows up, gotta work more. Fine.
So
Yes.
Fang has been waiting outside this whole time while you guys talk. He goes out, starts pulling out his big ring of keys as he goes over to Deputy Fang. And you are aware now that he is going to be searching the rooms. So unless you have everything on you, there's a risk he could find whatever is in your room.
Oh, no, I'm completely paranoid about this. There is no way I would leave anything in my room. I've got everything on me. I have lots of pockets in my coat.
Okay.
And I deal
Awesome.
only small amounts. But I do kind of think I need to warn other people, so I should probably go find Bug at the very least.
Okay. You have the internal telecom phones that you can call the kitchen
Oh, okay, great.
because you can't leave the desk right now.
Bug, can you get out here and talk to me real quick?
Yeah.
Great.
It's a
It won't take
very-
long. It's important.
He very slowly makes his way out. He's like, of course, just covered in tomato sauce at this point. So, like, if you don't know he's a chef, like, people are probably panicking. What's up?
I should have talked to somebody besides Bug. I forgot what a slowpoke he is. But, whatever. I trust him more than anybody else.
Uh-huh.
Well, almost anybody. Bug, do you have any weed in your room? Because there's a deputy here, and he's going through everybody's rooms looking for weed. You might want to tell everybody just so they
Is he going
can
to check the
like,
closets?
Don't say that so loudly.
Oh,
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
know. No, I'm sure he won't check.
But
Well,
is he
in
going to
the
check
room?
the closets?
In your room?
Well,
Or just
that's what I'm
staff
worried about.
level?
Specifically, is my room, but I guess just in general.
Yes, he probably is. You should probably go do something about that. Right?
Okay, well, I'll
In
go
your
right
pocket.
now. I'll go as fast as I can,
Oh, shit.
and I will move up that direction.
Oh,
Bug
God,
also knows he
everybody
should
else,
probably
I can
let
tell.
Droog know because Droog has things not even related to this that he probably doesn't want people finding. So, I mean, there's not such a thing as an illegal amount of porn, but
But if there was,
if there
there's a
was,
questionable amount, right?
he has an illegal amount of porn.
Some of it might not be legal in this.
So
state.
Bug would let Droog know when he goes back in the kitchen.
He does.
Okay. Vivian would know that for as dumb as Lewis and Owen can be, they also never smoke in their rooms. They never do that in the lodge buildings because they don't ever want to get caught with it on the buildings. That's why they go to the abandoned building and do it around there.
That's what Bug should be doing.
Or out
too, but
on
he's
one of the
goddamn
trails.
slow.
Yeah. So you don't have to worry about them. You know they're okay. All right. So we're going to fast forward a little bit here. Everybody's settled in. That evening, kitchen's getting dinner ready. They're going to have like a big barbecue outside. So there's several large outdoor grills that you guys have and an outdoor smoker to be able to do all kinds of barbecue. And that's all set up. People are out on the lawn. There's music being played. What was her name? Jane, the director of hospitality, has one of the girls that's in housekeeping is an amateur DJ, but she's good enough. So she's actually making some extra money playing DJ and playing more upbeat 90s music while everybody's kind of out partying on the lawn and around the lake. Pretty much everybody is out there in whatever groups they're with. Vivian, after Fang is done with his search, he didn't find anything. After Fang is done with his search, Dinny relieves you, and you get to go sleep until this,
Oh, good, 'cause
this
I'm
evening. So you would be awake about at this point because, I mean, the music and all the barbecuing and everything going on, it would probably wake you back up. But you do get a few hours of sleep. You get to nap from probably about 1:30, 2 o'clock until about 6:30, which is where we're at now. Sun is setting. It's not quite dark yet, but it's dusk. And over the course of the day, a bunch of clouds have started to blow in. There weren't any storms really on, the predictions for the week, but there's something blowing in. And it's starting to get a bit overcast. It's making a really pretty sunset because the clouds are all scattered but really heavy, and so there's really cool colors in the sky and in the clouds over the lake, the forest around it. It's really pretty. But you've been on the island long enough to know that this is a storm that's coming in, and you're probably going to get a lot of rain and wind tonight. As the party is going on and people are in their groups doing their things, people are mingling, Lane shows the picture to Valentine, who freaks out and loves it. So that reassures him that he'll probably make some good money this weekend if he can stick to that level. It's, it's not exactly like super flattering, but he doesn't exaggerate things he could. Mm-hmm. Like he gives him a bit of a high forehead, but not the whole, full receding hairline that Valentine's got. He even manages to mutter a few words in response to a couple of questions that Tamara asks him. Mm-hmm. He's trying to be sociable for you. The film crew is getting a bit twitchy about wanting to go and check out the building, especially since everything's going on right now. This would be a good time to sneak off, but you haven't had a chance yet, Steve, to talk further with Vivian. And until you get to, that's not going to happen. So they're having to kind of just lay low and relax a bit. Some of them that are a bit more outgoing are hanging out with the other college students. You guys probably all go to the same university. You may even recognize a few of them from campus, even if you don't really know them. And then you are probably grabbing dinner before work tonight. Your shift doesn't start until 10. It's about 6:37 now. But you know that with all the music and everything going on and the wind picking up, you're not going to get much sleep right now. You got enough to get by for the night. You're going to crash at 2, you're going to crash at 7 when your shift ends. But you're okay for now.
I normally don't sleep more than 4 or 5 hours a night anyway. I generally wake up, in the middle of my night.
Yeah, so you're chilling out on the patio, eating your dinner while you can. Droog sneaks you some of it early to make sure that you get food. He gets the staff theirs first because he knows that you guys have all been working super hard all day. And he's good to his people like that. Bug was able to let Droog know that they were coming. And Droog muttered something about not having time to rent a U-Haul. But didn't say anything further than that. But nothing happened, so apparently whatever Droog has, while it may have traumatized the deputy, it didn't get him in trouble. Are you each with your respective groups, or are you cross-mingling more, or?
Yeah, oh, go ahead.
I'm probably with my respective group, yeah.
Okay. But it's a big group, so it can be kind of scattered out.
Yeah.
What about Steve?
Yeah, I mean, I'm keeping an eye out for Vivian. Like, if I see her, I'll go over and talk to her.
You do see her eating over at one of the picnic tables closer to the lodge. Okay. Most of the partying and stuff's going on about down the hill. It's like a rolling hill down to the beach, down to the lakefront.
Nice. Is she kind of like alone? Like, do I get the feeling I could go over there and?
Yeah, she's just hanging out, smoking a cigarette probably and eating her dinner.
Yeah, I got
the food's not open for everybody yet, but she seems to have some, probably because she works here.
Okay. I'll go over to Vivian and be like, hey, hi. I don't think I got your name earlier. I'm Steve again. Steve Philman.
Hi, I'm Vivian.
Hi, Vivian. Lovely to reintroduce myself to you. So is now a good time? It's just our director is kind of a visionary, but you know how visionaries are. They're very impatient, and we'd really love to take a look at the uh, abandoned property if that could happen.
A visionary, huh?
Oh, yeah, completely.
Yeah, all right. I can take you there as long as it's just the two of you. But I can't guarantee your safety. I can't guarantee anything. If you step on a nail, it's on you. And if you step on a nail or something else, you don't tell anybody where you stepped on a nail, right? Otherwise, I will find you because I know what room you're staying in and you will regret it.
That is a very effective threat. Okay, I'm gonna get the director.
Wait,
I walk
uh,
over.
wait. Before you go anywhere,
Yeah, yeah.
is Max coming?
She can. Yeah, I mean, I would love it if Max came.
If Steve has
I mean-
competition for Max, I'm going to laugh.
I mean, I was just wondering if she was coming. She seems cool. That's all.
Yeah, no, she's super cool. Can I do some? Okay, Steven's very unperceptive. It's one of his traits. But can I do some kind of check to see if I get the vibe that
Yeah, go for
Vivian is
it. -1. Yep.
-1.
Yeah,
Wait,
-1
so
for unperceptive.
is that a brains check?
Yeah, it's brains.
Okay, so 3d6. Okay. 6, 1, 2. No.
No, you can't tell. Could be that she just found a kindred soul and is bored as hell here. It could be that she's totally into Max.
Okay, I kind of yeah. So Max is pretty cool. Yeah, I'll I go yeah, I'll get them, and I go over to Jason.
As you start to walk away, the wind really picks up. There's a big gust, and there's a snap as one of the tree branches out around the lawn. It's not on the lawn, it kind of lines it. There's a snap as one of the tree branches breaks and falls. And there's a few startled sounds from people. I mean, it's nowhere near them, but still, the snap and then the crash gets some reaction. And the wind is really starting to pick up. Jane, the hospitality director, is looking a bit frustrated because this might end the party. What did you say?
No, I just said Steve jumped like a foot in the air with the branch.
Steve's like, oh my God. Lucas, upon seeing this happen, what's Lucas's reaction?
I immediately, because I mentioned I'm in the group, right?
Yeah.
I immediately start scanning outside the group for scragglers. I'm looking for anybody that's out there that's not a part of the group.
You notice
nobody is watching.
Okay. You notice that anybody that was kind of out near the edges where the tree lines are has started to kind of move away from the tree lines and is coming more towards the center of the herd where things won't snap and fall on them. But nobody seems to be too concerned yet.
Okay.
It just kind of startled some people.
So, okay. I spot Vivian talking to Steve, and I kind of come over and says, Vivian, I talked to Vivian. Sorry. I was like, sorry, I don't know your name. I'm Lucas, but you look like a straight shooter. Like, is this dangerous?
Yeah, very, very. And it's Vivian, by the way.
It's Vivian. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, are you talking about the wind or are you talking about everything? Because the world is pretty dangerous.
But, well, yeah, I mean, the world is pretty dangerous and, people are pretty dangerous, but I was talking about the more immediate danger posed by, the fucking tree branch that just fell to the ground and probably could have hurt some people.
You're starting to feel some drops on your faces.
We need to get inside now, don't we?
It's probably time to go. I mean, listen, the trees are supposed to be maintained so that doesn't happen, but if it happened once, it'll probably happen again. So we should probably go inside.
All right, everyone inside.
Oh.
Jane shoots you a glowering look as the hospitality director for abruptly ending the party that she put together. But people hear your voice and kind of murmur to each other and nod a little bit. And That's when a bolt of lightning strikes a tree that is very close to the lodge, and a fairly large branch falls off of it near where you two are at the picnic tables, but closer to the lodge, and lands with a crash that is pretty much blocking the front door. You're going to have to work through brush to get around it and get inside, or a bunch of people are going to have to move it. And the wind is getting a lot worse, and the rain is starting to come down more.
I'm going to run over to the football team and say, let's get behind this and push it away just so we could run around it.
Okay, so the football team's like, yeah, we can move this, and they start heading up. And as you guys...
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm going to try to jump on top of it and then help people over.
Okay, as you're heading up the hill, the wind whips up harder than Vivian has seen it in her 3 years there. And large old trees that are probably close to 100 years old are bending more than you would think trees can bend. And the wind is making the rain start to go like sideways, like you're walking up the hill into, with a wall of rain coming at you from one side as you're going up the hill. And it's making it harder. The ground's getting muddier. Footing is getting worse. And with another crack of lightning, we will start our first kill scene.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay, so the lightning hits another tree, not quite as close, to the lodge and sets it ablaze as half of the tree falls to the ground in flames. I need from you, Lucas. You would be the most immediately in the area. I will need a finesse roll from you to avoid any of the tree coming down and the fiery branches and such.
Okay, so finesse, I am normal. I don't think I have any stats for it.
Fast runner wouldn't work here, no. So you're just going to do 48.
48s. Let's do that.
You were heading back over to the film group, right, Steve?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going down the hill when this all happens and away from where the football team was. So you're kind of veering more towards like where the lake house and the other property, the abandoned building is. And then Vivian, you're up near the front of the lodge, which is now kind of blocked. And you just saw this other tree burst into flames and fall over. So what did you roll, Lucas?
2 5s and a 4 and a 6.
Okay. So as it comes down, you are able to get clear of it. You see a couple of people get some smaller branches and stuff that kind of whap them, but nobody seems to be too badly hurt at the moment, but it does start to create more of a chaotic panic among the group. At which point, Rick basically repeats what you said. Get up there and get that branch, or get that branch moved. We got to get inside. And so people are pushing further up to go up and do that. Are you going to try to escape that way and go up and help them? Are you looking?
Is anyone? I'm going to scan again. Is anyone in trouble?
Roll roll brains with +1 for details.
So that's 4d10.
5d10. You get a +1.
5d10. Okay. Let's see. No matches.
Okay. There are a number of people, you can't make out exactly who they are with all the wind and the rain and everything. There are a couple of people that are kind of scattered and not quite sure what they're doing. Do you want to roll that again, or do you want to leave it? Or do you want to pick a person like at random?
Can I run somewhere and get a better vantage point?
Yeah, you could head over away from the blaze and closer to the building where you're going to get a little more shelter to try to get a better vantage point and see if there's anybody out there that needs help. So that's what
Okay.
you're going to do for this turn.
Yeah.
Steve, which way are you guys going? You see that the big branch is blocking part of the entry back into the lodge. And you see that there's another part of the tree that fell over that's on fire, but probably won't be on fire for long given the rain.
I think I look to Paige, who's like the most competent person I know, and I'm like, what do we do?
Paige is also kind of freaking out a little bit because that was a bit stressful. But she's like, we need to find cover. We need to find somewhere that we can get where we're not under all of this. I mean, we
Okay,
can either try to help them move things there, or we can get to the boathouse over there.
Oh, okay. Let's go to the boathouse.
Okay, that's closer. So you guys start heading in that direction. Vivian, you notice that Steve, who you just talked to, and his friends are making their way towards the boathouse because it is closer for them, and it's currently not blocked off. You know the football players are coming up to try to clear the entry. Which way do you want to go?
I'm gonna go to the boathouse.
Okay, you're
It
going to head
seems
down the
like
hill
a
towards the boathouse.
faster- Yeah.
Okay. So the next time around here, Lucas, give me another brains roll and do +2 this time.
+2, so I would do
Vantage point and your details.
6?
Yeah, vantage point and your quality.
60-10?
Yeah.
Okay. We've got 2 7s. So it's one pair.
Okay. 2 7s. All right. You notice that among those that are kind of straggling, they're starting to recover and head up, but one of them, notably Lane, is kind of just standing there dumbfounded, not sure what to do. And he is closer to the group that's heading to the boathouse than he is to where you are right now.
Okay. Do I have time to run to him this turn?
Yeah, you can spend this turn running to him. Rick looks like he's got most of the team and people and, you know, frat bros and stuff heading towards... Whoa. Hey, don't knock my camera over. Sorry, one of the dogs was playing with their ball around my camera. Anyway, yeah, Lucas sees that Rick has things under control for clearing the hotel entry, the lodge entry. So you want to go after Lane, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm going
So
straight
you go
to
booking it
Lane.
down for Lane.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to, at this point, there is debris and things that are flying in the wind. Stuff's getting blown around. So each round, I am going to be going round by round now, and you're going to be having to make actual survival point rolls to avoid any harm and to get further out of the scene. Okay? The target you're aiming for here is you need 3 survival points to reach a safe enough place that you are no longer in danger. Since you're all headed in the same direction, it shouldn't be too difficult with you all going the same way. But each of you will need 3 to get out of this. You have to escape individually. It's not one person does it and everybody's out. You all have to make it to safety yourselves. Okay, so as you guys are running that way, there is a lawn chair that is tumbling at a very high speed along the grass that is coming towards Steve
Okay.
that you're going to have to keep an eye on. It's heading your way. Lucas, you have another tree branch coming down on that side of the lining of the trees that you're going to need to watch out for. And because you're going downhill, Vivian, on the slope, it's wet, it's muddy, it's rainy, you're going to need to roll to not basically face plant in the muddy, grassy hill.
Okay.
And then body surf your way down. Yeah.
If I have to, I will.
Okay, so that's going to be finesse rolls from each of you. At this point, running, if you have a specialty that involves running, can help you. If you have a positive quality that involves running, which I know Lucas does, I know Steve does, and
Yeah, I got fast
acrobatic will also come in handy here, Vivian, for dodging. And for
Okay,
keeping your
so
balance. For keeping your balance.
Is a D8 for normal, and I would roll 5 of them because I have the bonus?
You're right, yes. D8 is
Okay,
normal.
cool.
Yeah. So I need one roll from
Finesse.
each of you.
No matches.
Okay, I got a match. I got 2 4s.
Okay. And do let me know if you get matching ones.
I rolled 48 and
Yes.
I got no matching numbers.
Okay. So, Steve, we'll do you first. You are able to dodge out of the way of the careening, tumbling lawn chair that is headed your way. It does not hit you, and you're able to keep going towards your group and towards the boathouse. You have 1 survival point. At this
Nice.
point,
Okay.
Lucas, you get hit with a branch, but because you are a leading character and this is your first hit, you do not suffer survival point loss for it. You
Okay.
basically ignore or soak your first hit. So
Okay.
it hits you on the back and shoulder and falls to the ground harmlessly, but it staggers you and it
Okay.
slows you in your path towards lane and sends you kind of staggering down the hill in a slightly different angle. And you're going to have to course correct. Vivian, you are body surfing face down the hill. You also ignore your first survival point loss, so you don't lose anything. But your feet go out from under you, you fall forward, and you're basically doing a slip and slide face first down the hill, and are going to need to right yourself and not crash into anything. So next round, Lucas, you're continuing towards the boathouse? Or not Lucas.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was looking at Steve. Steve,
Okay.
you're
Yeah.
continuing towards the boathouse? Okay. One of the
Yeah, and I'm keeping an eye on Max and Paige. to make
they're
sure nobody,
closer to
like,
the
falls
boathouse
behind.
with the group. You were further up the hill, having just talked to Vivian. So they're actually
Okay.
going to make it okay, it looks like. But one of the shingles on the roof of the boathouse does blow off and comes zipping towards your face. So I need you to roll again. The other two, you don't need to roll to avoid anything. You're needing to roll to course correct and not further go off target. So
Okay,
go ahead
is this
and
finesse?
yeah.
Can I use fast runner again or no?
Yeah, you're still running and dodging. You can try to run in a direction away from it. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh, dang it. I got 2 sevens.
Ooh.
Ooh, I got 2 5s and 2 4s. I got 2 matching pairs.
Okay. You like matrix dip as the thing goes flying right over your head and
Amazing.
keep running. And you now have 2 of your 3 survival points. You are almost to the boathouse.
Yes. Okay,
Lucas.
Cool.
What did you get?
Sorry, for what?
It is finesse again to, well, hang on, let me see what your stats are.
Finesse.
You can
Finesse is good.
you can do the fast runner or yeah, I'll let you do finesse with the fast runner again.
Okay, so 5d8. I'm
Yeah,
not
trying to swerve back
penalized for
towards
the
lane.
stunning.
Yeah, 5d8 to get
Okay.
back towards lane. Yeah.
Let's do that.
Okay.
I've got 2 3s and 2 5s.
You also get 2 survival points this turn, and you are now almost up on lane and can grab him.
Okay.
Okay. Vivian, you got 1 pair. So you have 1 survival
2
point.
sevens.
You are back up on your feet. Your entire front is grassy and wet and muddy and coated, but you are upright again and on your feet running towards the boathouse. Okay.
Like-
So as you're heading up to the boathouse to join the group, they're up under the awning of the boathouse and trying to find a way in. Steve is going to need to make 1 last roll to navigate the steps up to the boathouse without slipping and potentially breaking their neck
Yeah.
with all the wind and the rain and everything.
Finesse again?
Yes.
Okay. And
This
can
is
I
not
still
fast
use
running, though. This is,
No fast running.
yeah, this is not fast running. This is more about just getting up the steps.
Ugh, I didn't get a matching pair.
Okay, so you slip going up the steps, dropping a knee hard into the step. It hurts, but you also have your free first hit, so you don't lose any survival points. You keep your 2 survival points, you just don't gain anymore. And you're going to have to pull yourself up and get the rest of the way up.
Okay.
Okay. Lucas, you've grabbed a hold of completely panicked and shut down Lane, who has no idea what the hell's going on.
Uh-huh.
And you can drag him with you towards the lake house and get up the steps. So
Yeah,
I need a
I'm
roll
just gonna
from.
run.
Go ahead and give me a roll. Again, the running isn't going to come in handy here because you're having to navigate another set of steps that Steve's at.
So 4d8s.
Yes.
Okay. I have a pair of 3s, and that's it.
Okay. You are able to get up to a second pair of steps there's a number of access points up onto it's a semicircle of like what's the word I'm looking for? Patio that surrounds the land part of the boathouse, and there's several access points of steps.
Yeah.
You get Lane up and under the awning. The rain is still hitting you from a bit of an angle, but it's not as bad. You have the shelter of the building from a lot of the wind. You have enough to basically be considered safe and escape danger. Vivian, you need another running roll to get to the boathouse. And then next turn you can get up the steps. Unless you roll really well here, in which case you vault.
It's 48, right?
Yeah.
I got 2 1s.
Ooh, that's all you got?
Yeah, and it's 2 and an 8.
Okay. So you have an option here where you can spend genre points. And I apologize for not having given any out during this session. I'll do better about that next time. I'll award a bunch here at the end. You have, and knowing that you'll be getting more, you can re-roll that, or you can take 1d3 in survival points.
I think I'll re-roll it.
Okay, so you spend 3 genre points for a re-roll.
Oh,
And we each started.
What did you get now?
No.
I
can't see
can't see it. Oh,
No,
I got 2 1s again.
2 1s again, nothing else?
Oh.
No, I have 7 and a 2.
Okay. Roll 1 6-sided and tell me what you get.
Oh, actually, no, I'll do that here. A 1!
That's good.
Oh, it
You
is? Okay.
lose 1 survival point, putting you back at 0. If you go under 0, you can die.
Okay, how many did we start with?
You start with 0 survival points.
Okay.
You start with 3 genre
Oh,
points.
but I got 3 though.
You've got
in
3. You've earned
Okay.
your way out.
Okay.
Steve has 2. Brooke, Vivian is now back down to 0. Okay, so at this point, Steve, you can see now that you've gotten Lane out of danger that Vivian is not doing well. You can choose to re-enter the scene with your 3 points, knowing that you're going back into danger to try to get Vivian, or do you want to stay out of the scene?
Did you mean Lucas?
I'm sorry, Lucas. I keep doing that. Lucas.
Yeah. Yes, I will
No, not
absolutely go back
I
out.
don't know why the football jock seems like a Steve and not a Lucas.
I can see that. Yeah.
Steve sounds more jockey, I guess. Yeah.
It does-
Sorry
it
about
does.
that. You're
Yeah.
gonna go. Okay, so
Jeez.
Lucas is gonna go back.
Lucas is running out. I'm going to go to her and see if I could get her going.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is Vivian on the next turn, and you're gonna roll again, Steve, here in a second. Vivian, when you roll going forward, you're gonna get a +1 from Lucas coming to help you. Okay?
+1 die.
+1 die
yeah.
on every roll that Lucas is putting his effort into helping you. But
Sweet.
if you
Oh.
take more survival point damage, Lucas also takes survival point damage. Lucas does not get to roll for themselves because they are helping you. Okay?
That's rough.
Yep.
Okay,
No pressure,
so
Brooke.
we will start with Steve, who I'm correctly identifying this time, who needs to get up the steps. So let's have one more finesse roll to get up the steps and out of danger.
Okay. Can I use fast runner this time?
No, you're trying to get back up from your knee and just up the steps.
Gotcha. Ooh, 2 8s right off the bat. Haha. Okay, I got 2 8s.
Okay, you get up off your knee, up the steps, and are under the awning. That's your action for the turn. You can see that Lucas has run back out to go try to get Vivian. Vivian, who is your ticket to getting into the abandoned building.
Right.
So next turn, you can decide if you want to go help. But right now,
do
you have
I-
escaped danger.
Do I get another survival point? Like, am I out
You're
of
up
the
to 3
scene,
now.
or
Yeah,
am I-
you get your third one.
Okay.
So you are technically out of the scene unless you choose next turn to come back in to help as well. Okay?
Cool.
Vivian, you need to roll another finesse roll. +2. You get 1 for your acrobat, and you get 1 for Lucas helping you. So you get 6d8.
Oh man. Yes, I got 2 sevens. 5, 1, 7, 7, 3, 8.
Okay.
Not a 1.
All right. So Lucas is able to pull you back to your feet and start getting you going in the direction of the building. Steve, it looks like Lucas has Vivian. And Vivian's probably going to be okay. You have 1 survival point again, Vivian. You need 3. Do you want to go help as well, or do you want to let Lucas handle it? It looks like he's got it. Lucas is much better built for this.
Yeah, I think Steve is not going to.
You're going to give them moral support from the
Sorry,
sidelines.
guys.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry,
Okay.
guys.
Great job, Lucas.
Okay, Vivian, let's get another roll from you.
Oh God. Okay. Same thing.
6.
68?
68.
3. Oh, cool. 2 6s, 2 3s. 8, 3, 3, 6, 2, 6.
Okay. All right. So with that, you are able to make it to the steps and vault up them with that acrobatics of yours. And maybe Lucas gives you a little bit of a lift. You know, like a skier, like a skater, figure skater gives you a little lift as you do your pirouette. Anyway, you get up the steps, and you are now up under the awning as well with the film students. Most of the other groups, people are all up at the lodge. So it's the film students and you 3, okay, that are now at the boathouse. You're catching your breath, calming down. Film students are like, fuck, what the fuck? Oh my God. You know, they're freaking out. They're all wet and soaked and shaken up. They're trying to find their way in. You, Vivian, know where the entrances are. And as night manager, you have property keys. You can actually let them into the boathouse. So you're going to lead the way over to let them in?
Yeah, of course. It's rainy. It's dangerous. I mean, I'm not a monster. Plus, I want to get in there too. I can't exactly go in, sneak my way in and like just shut the door on them.
Okay, so
yeah,
we're out
that's
of the kill scene has come to an end. You're all out of danger. You head over, you unlock the door to let them in, open the door. You guys all step in. The lights aren't on yet. Everybody give me a brains roll. Anything that helps you with details or perception is good or bad, depending on the quality. So unperceptive would be a minus, for example.
Gotcha, yeah.
4d6. Oh God. It's
I have
normal.
5d6,
little
you have
details.
perceptive, Vivian.
I have little details. Does that
Or-
count?
And it's 8, 5d8, sorry. So,
5d8.
yeah,
Oh,
little
sorry.
details counts.
And this is brains.
Yeah, you're 5d8. Steve is 3d6. And
Yeah, no
you
matches.
are 5d10,
No matches.
right?
5d10?
Yeah.
Okay. Ha, no matches.
None of you got matches? None of you did. Okay. You're fumbling trying to find the lights when you hear a female voice, which Steve recognizes as being Wendy, one of the co-stars, not the leading lady, but go, wait, who's that? And in the kind of dim lighting, she points. And you all look and you see what looks like a little girl, maybe 8, 10 years old. Her back is to you. She's wearing a tutu and unitard. And her hair is tied back in a ponytail. With her back turned to you. And you swear you can hear very faintly, very distantly, the little plucking chimes of a music box.
Ooh.
What would you like to do? She's further in the room, but not out where the boats are. She's in between you and the boats. Now, the boathouse covers part of the water because the boats come up to dock, in the water in the boathouse. So part of the boathouse is out over the water. You guys are still at the entrance.
Well, I mean, if I'm the only employee here, I'm gonna have to go do something about this girl because if she falls in the water, I won't have a job anymore.
Okay. So what do you do?
I go over there to kind of pull her back towards.
Okay, so you start walking in that direction. Do you address her or anything as you walk over?
Oh yeah, I say, "Hey, kid, hey, kid."
The
Hey,
music
little girl.
gets a little bit louder, and it does sound like a wind-up music box. And the little girl turns slowly, and as she turns to face you, it's dark, but you can clearly see, even in the faint lighting, there's a few like security lights in there so that people can always see what's going on, that she has no face except for a very large, very nasty looking mouth that bisects her entire head from one side to the other.
Oh,
Ooh.
And she smiles with a mouth full of needle sharp, rotting teeth. And that is where we will end tonight's episode.
Ah! I gotta sleep tonight, dude.
that was great.
All right.
I thought she would just fall in the water. That was pretty good.
Okay, so we have met our first ghost. All right. Our first monster of the story. Next story, we'll start with freakout checks because holy shit. But we're going to end it here. We're going to do some clerical stuff here after I wrap this up. But thank you guys. Hope you had fun. I had a ton of fun myself. And I hope everybody that watches this enjoyed it and comes back for more. There are 2 more episodes to the story to go. And we have just opened Pandora's box on this one. So thank you guys for watching, and make sure you come back, like and subscribe, all of that fun stuff, and we will see you next time on Tales from the Crips.